As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports, the Crunch Time Sports Show with Jeff Iafrate and Booner. It's Monday, January 19th, coming off another NFL playoff weekend. You had the Bears lose in overtime to the Los Angeles Rams, which we were live for. An absolute devastating loss for the Bears there. I can't imagine how shitty Bears fans are feeling this morning. Honestly, probably not as bad as Broncos fans are feeling this morning, though. Because I would argue that is probably – I don't know. To me, that sucks because – you had won and you lost your quarterback. Like, at least the Bears can be like, I know it sucks you're out of the playoffs, but it's like, hey, our quarterback threw a pick. Like, that's stupid. You know? He just can't throw a pick next time when you're basically driving just to win the game. All you need is a freaking field goal. So,
yeah.
I don't know. You can drop in the chat who you think feels more like shit. But either way, a playoff.
I would have to think Bears fans that they're out of the dance would feel worse. Just the
way it ended too, like you had a chance to win the game. I mean, that's all you needed was.
At least the Broncos, like you have Jarrett Stidham. If you're the Broncos, like you at least are still in the dance. So you don't have a great chance. You have a defense. You could win a game. That in the playoffs, that's been one thing that's like well known is you could just win a game on defense. We've seen that all NFL playoffs. So as long as Jarrett Stidham doesn't go out there and he could commit 5 turnovers, Jeff, and still be in the game versus the Patriots. We saw that last night. You know what I'm saying? Like there he goes. Like
we're about to find out about the Patriots too.
But the Patriots. I don't know the whole Patriots. What was it? Texans saying like the fact that CJ Stroud just went out there and just absolutely laid it. Like that was. There's something wrong with him. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
Dude, there's been 3 games with 3 or more turnovers from quarterbacks. You had Buffalo. Houston, and then
out of 4 teams, or
actually, I think Drake May had 3. I think he had because he had 2 fumbles, 3 fumbles, and then he had a pick. I don't know. There's been a lot of turnover, but we'll get to that defenses and what's going on in the NFL right now because it's. I mean, the conversation about defense couldn't be more relevant right now. So we're going to talk about
crazy how everything's worked out in favor of one coaching and then also defense. It's like, whoa, this is shocking. Wow, it's crazy that like maybe when we talk football, there's actually like some like validity behind all these conversations.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you have, and I mentioned it yesterday on the watch party. I said I'd fire Sean McDermott. The guy got fired, so we'll get to that as well. I think that was well overdue. Okay, I think that was long time coming. You getting rid of Sean McDermott. But anyway, even though it was Josh Allen's fault they lost, let's get to Rams Bears. Last night, the Rams. And Sean McVay, he spoke after the game, and he was like, honestly, I'm paraphrasing, but he said after was it the first 3 and out in overtime? He goes, I thought that was pretty much it. Like, he goes, I thought we lost our chance there.
Yeah.
And to have a chance still to win the game, like, dude, I can't imagine being a Rams fan in overtime. You're like, bro, we're done. We're cooked. We're going to lose. And then Caleb Williams, dude. They just go
15. Down. And to be fair, so I watched the replay. So obviously Caleb Williams throws the interception when they literally just needed. And what did I say all game, dude? I kept saying the same thing all game, over and over and over. Is Caleb Williams the one? He's been very good throughout the season and in the playoffs. The one negative about him is he just sometimes loves to take these deep shots because he wants to like end it, or he wants to have this big play. And those big plays just bite him, dude. Like they come back and just destroy him. Instead of just taking check downs or just being smart with it and like meticulously going up the field. And you see that out of him sometimes, but other times, it's like a give and take. You saw obviously the heave at the end to go to Cole Kmet to force OT, but like that was a heave at the end. Caleb Williams essentially just does that on first down multiple times. Like he just throws the ball up in the air on first down and just goes, I hope someone can catch this. Because he's like, I want to make a play. Instead of just like, I've never seen Caleb Williams throw the ball away. Never in my life. And I will say, Jeff, I don't know if you saw the back angle of it. There's blame to be put, and you could argue maybe over 50% of the blame on DJ Moore. I'll just say that. They needed 15 yards.
Whoa.
And DJ Moore, the route he ran, someone pointed it out on Twitter. Like, he ran his route. He essentially, you could tell the way he was running it, he just never thought he was going to get the ball, and he just jogged the whole time. And then when the ball's in the air, he realizes, oh, the ball's coming to me, and then he just sits there and watches it. Doesn't think the defender can get there. Defender gets there. Season over, essentially.
By the way, that's not the first time that DJ Moore has been called out for giving up on a route. That's been like that's been
in a playoff game in OT though is insane.
If you remember, I'm not trying to excuse Caleb, but I'm just speaking to your point. Like DJ Moore, against the Lions, actually. Remember when Avonte Maddox got the pick? He threw the ball deep to DJ Moore, and he like started slowing down at the end, and the ball went like it was to be. And Bears fans were like, trade him and all this shit about DJ Moore. Again, I'm not saying that Caleb, but I to your point, that is a thing though.
Well, when you see the angle, it's like so clear that DJ Moore's just jogging the route, not paying attention, and then all of a sudden he realizes that instead of like being a defender or even getting an OPI or something, like you would rather have an offensive pass interference than them get the ball back. And like he just sits there and watches him, catches it, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah. And it's tough. But that is on Caleb too for throwing that ball. That you don't throw that.
Yeah, because I was going to speak on that point. Like Caleb, during the regular season, he's done a really good job of taking care of the ball. In the postseason, guys turning the ball over every game. I mean, he had two picks against the Packers, and then he just followed it up with another couple picks. Like, dude, there's times, to your point, we're watching the game, dude. You had Zacchaeus on a drag route, probably would have got you a first down. It wasn't a sexy play, but it's like that's the shots. Those are the type of throws, and I'm not trying to compare the skill sets, but like the quarterbacks like Jared Goff would just be like, all right to Amon-Ra St. Brown, yards after catch. Like that's where Caleb, as talented as he is, he's so talented. He needs to understand that part of it where it's like, dude, you don't need to try and get a home run here. Just throw a little, dink and dunk to Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus gets you 8 to 10 yards. Boom, first down. Like Tom Brady would win games like death by 1,000 cuts. The guy would have 35 completions for like 250 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't need to take those. And that's part of, again, being a young quarterback, but I could tell like Ben Johnson isn't excused either. They had the ball on the 1 yard, 5 yard line, had 4 plays and couldn't get in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
he had he has 4 touchdowns and 5 turnovers and 5 interceptions in 2 playoff games. And it's like, and the thing is, it's like they were. I'm going to say they were lucky enough to come back and beat the Packers. And yeah, he was part of that, but also he was a part of the reason they were in a hole because he was, he didn't take care of the ball the first half. It throws 2 interceptions, puts them in a hole. Now they have to come back. This game, dude, 3 interceptions in an OT game. Like you take one of those away, you win the football game.
Yeah.
And it's like, as a franchise quarterback, and if you're Ben Johnson, an offensive guy, it's you could blame Ben, maybe some play calls once back, all this. But dude, like 3 interceptions is you in the playoffs, man. You got to take care of the ball. He was kind of lucky his defense last night. Yeah, his defense last night was just so good, man.
Especially in that game, yeah.
What they did to Stafford in that offense, that Rams offense, Stafford in that Rams offense, one of the best in the league, if not the best, had like 6 or 7, maybe even 8, like 3 and outs. And they still couldn't win that game. Like that's
where Matthew is good. Matthew and Caleb are both gunslingers. That's where they're going to take risk. And Matthew gets a bunch of picks too. Like they take a lot of risk, and you see these incredible plays because they feel like they can make any throw. But in those games, like last night, Matthew being in the league as long as he has been, he understands like Matthew, he was like, I'm just going to take care of the ball, play methodical. Like, notice Matthew at some point, like he's a gunslinger, but even he was like, okay, I'm just going to be a little conservative. Like both defenses are playing really good football. It's bad weather. It's a defensive game. Like, every drive matters just to at least put up points, whether it's 3 or 7. And Ben felt like they, I don't know how many times they went for it. I believe it was the most that the Bears have went for it in a game. I think it was a playoff game actually since like 1980 or something like that. So, yeah, I think that was part of it. Like the experience of Matthew was kind of like, hey, man, I can sling it all around the field today in this situation. I'm going to be conservative. And Caleb was like, nope, I'm going to try and make plays in a game where you probably didn't need to make it. I mean, he needed to make the play at the end, obviously, but throughout the game, it was just like, boneheaded mistakes.
Stafford knew he could put it on his defense, and that's essentially what he did.
Exactly.
And he trusted it. And obviously, they were in a position probably where they shouldn't have won that game. because of the way they kind of approached the whole thing, and they couldn't score at the end. And even in OT when they had the ball first, they couldn't. They didn't really do much, and they gave the ball back to Chicago with a chance to get a field goal. They essentially got lucky. What happened, and I know Stafford knows that, I'm sure. But they now, I mean, what, they don't have to play in the cold? Is Seattle
now
cold?
they go to Seattle, which they know.
Oh, Seattle is cold.
Well, it's not like Chicago though.
I was gonna say I'm not a avid. I don't know the weather in Seattle.
It might be. It rains a lot over there. I think it rains too, but not like Chicago where it was like windy and 15 degrees or 7 degrees or something like that. But yeah, I think that'll be a great game because now
do you
those
think
are two teams that know each other very well.
And we actually didn't talk about this, and this actually did not come up on our stream last night, and I don't know how we didn't think of it. Do you think Ben and I saw Rex Ryan actually talk about it today, which gave me the thought about it. Rex Ryan said that the Bears should have gone for 2 instead of going into OT at home. Go for 2. They had all the momentum in the world. You score that touchdown with Cole Kmet. Instead of kicking the field goal to overtime, you go for 2 to give yourself a chance to go to the NFC Championship game.
See, okay, and this is where I'll speak on it because I'm again. If I
can see if I can find the Rex Ryan video.
I'm just seeing that's a great video. Actually, we can watch that because that's an interesting point. I think that is definitely that falls into the category of the hindsight conversation because I'm gonna be honest. If I'm a fan, like if that was the Lions, I'm saying I want an extra point. I want to go to overtime.
Yeah, I go to overtime, especially too. I think I think it's a little different in the playoffs or even just in general because the OT rules changed.
Oh, you put it.
Oh, I'm sending it the wrong way. You got the link?
No, I can't click it. No.
Oh, here I got you. That's on me. Hand up.
All right. What were you saying?
If anyone wants to watch the link that we're about to watch, I just sent it in our chat. But seriously though, I think this going forward, like the fact that now in overtime both teams get the ball, I think it makes more sense now. You know what I'm saying? Because I think before it's like you don't know. You're essentially putting your playoff life in the hands of a coin, which is like, I don't really like that.
I don't like that. Yeah,
I would rather have the ball in my hands and go for 2 and give. Like I think you have a better chance of going for 2 and putting the ball in like Caleb Williams' hands than being like, hey, let's just go to this coin over here that has, a president and whatever else on it. And let's see what that thing does for us. Like, I would rather just be like, let's just control our own destiny at that point instead of putting it in the hands of a head ref. So, but I think now the fact.
Dude, well, he's probably thinking too, Ben, like after Caleb makes that throw, he's like, dude, we have all the momentum. Like I
do see that too, though.
You're like,
yeah, you're at home too, though, and like everything. But the thing is like, remember this game, all those short yardage downs, essentially going for 2 is just a short yardage 4th down, right? Like that's true. Essentially, essentially what 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, whatever the ball gets
they
put.
Couldn't do any. They couldn't do.
They could not convert those all day, like for the life of them. And hindsight, you lose the game. Well, we should have went for 2. Like Rex could be like, it's easy for Rex Ryan to be like, oh, we should. You just shouldn't throw an interception. You should just get 15 yards and you win the game with a field goal. Like it's 1st and 10, and you have to get 15 yards to go kick a game-winning field goal at home. Like
they had a chance to win that game.
I think they played it the right way. I think just Caleb made a dumb mistake, which he did multiple times throughout the night.
Let's take a listen to Rex Ryan. Future Lions DC, according to many. Let's hear what he had to say.
The miracles ran out at the very end.
Yeah, but that's why you go for 2.
Yeah.
Like
you would have gone for the 2, and that's
100%. And if I was a bet man, I thought everybody would have said Ben Johnson's going for 2. All right, that's who he is. That's who he's been all season. He wasn't the guy he was during the entire season. So to me, no. Are you going to get more momentum than what you did by converting a 1 in a million chance play by a quarterback?
Why do you think that happens in the playoffs to a coach, that he goes against character and goes for the extra point? Why do you think
I mean, look, if you're playing by the book, right, Dano, by the book, it always says when you're the better team, number one, the better team, you make the kick, right? You tie it. When you're at home, you kick it. No way in hell. That's why you don't play that game on a computer or all that type of crap. You go for it, 100%. Even if you don't make it, every single Bear fan is like, "That's who the hell we are." I thought Ben Johnson absolutely Why did you tighten up? Why?
Yeah, I mean, he went against himself that we saw the first 59 minutes. I mean, he was unbelievably aggressive yesterday. The reason the Bears lose the game was because of all the aggressive fourth down calls when they go for it and they don't get it. Situational football is the reason why the Bears lose that game. They were pretty good on early downs, but the third down and fourth down fails. That's really the story of the game.
Okay, and I think we can. I think out of anyone talking about this, I think we have the best perspective, given who the Lions head coach is. Who we cover is Dan Campbell, and also on top of that, Ben Johnson is from Dan Campbell's staff. So we have the most context with the whole like, why go away from your identity? That's something Dan gets criticized about. My opinion on that, I think, and my preferred head coach, I prefer him to be flexible. Okay, I don't like the idea that, hey, if you're aggressive, all game be aggressive. Or if you're passive, all game be passive. Like, I think there's a healthy balance, and you have to, I think that's part of situational football is understanding the context of the situation. What's our down and distance? How have we been playing from this certain distance, or whatever the case may be? Who's our personnel? Like, taking everything into consideration before making a decision like that. And to be honest, like, I don't think the Bears lost the game, and the biggest reason, or at least a reason that they lost the game, was because Ben got tight and didn't go for two. Like, if that was Dan in that situation and Dan kicked a field goal, or excuse me, an extra point to punch it in and tie the game, and now you go to overtime, I'm all for that, because now you're thinking we have the momentum. Let's not get cute. Let's just go to overtime. Our defense is playing well today. Yes, we were trying to be aggressive today. It didn't work out, but guess what? We're here. We're in overtime. We have a chance to win the game. To basically say we're going to put our entire season on a 2-point conversion when we haven't been able to convert fourth and shorts all day, to me would be, to your point, dumb, in my opinion. I think I prefer, I get what they're saying. I don't like the all in or all out thing. I don't like, I
think there's you said it last year. Do you remember last year? I think you were the one that kept saying it's like, what is it called? It's adjusting to specific moments in games. It's like,
adaptability. I like that.
Yeah, adapting to certain situations. Like if that was the Lions, and I'll be quite frank, like I would have been mad if the Lions went for two, because knowing overtime, now you get everyone gets a possession. You can put yourself, like you're keeping the game alive, to where if you don't get it, like you're done, game's over, because it's a fourth down essentially. So yeah, I think you're essentially extending the game, and if you went percentage wise, like probably have a higher percentage chance of winning if you go into overtime. That's how I would look at it. And I could be wrong with that, but I would, if like Dan Campbell was in that same situation and went for two instead of kicking a field goal, I probably would have been a little upset, especially like Rex Ryan being, and this is the worst, by the way, half of the Rex Ryan stuff was literally just him being like, 100% I would do it. And he's just not giving any reasoning. He just kept saying 100% I would.
And he's also not, in all due respect, like he's not a head coach in the league right now. Like,
no, he's not. And then I think that'd be I think it's a bad. I don't think his reasoning behind it was, oh, you should just do it because that's your identity. Like, no, maybe that's not the smart thing to do. Maybe actually Ben Johnson said, oh, we haven't been great today at this. Or, it's like Dan when the defense isn't playing well. Okay, we got to go for it more on fourth because the offense is playing good, defense is playing bad, or vice versa. I forgot what I was going to say about Rex Ryan. I completely forgot.
Well, you mentioned how he basically gave no reason to why he would go for two.
Yes, but there was something else to it, and my brain absolutely shut off.
Well, if we come back, mention it, because like I said, I disagree with Rex. I think what Ben did was give the Bears a chance in overtime. And to be honest, you didn't lose the game. They should be focusing on this morning the turnovers in that football game, the turnovers and the situational, or the fourth down, the lack of converting those fourth downs. That's what got him. I think Dan Orlovsky hit on it. Situational football lost in that game. Like that's whether it's on the quarterback or the coach. I think that the defense played out of their minds.
I remember Rex Ryan being like, oh, Bears fans, they would have rather you go for two, and then if you didn't get it, they would be like, oh, at least we did. Like, no, if you went for two and you didn't get it, Bears fans might be asking for your head. Like that might be a fact. Like if you went for two and didn't go
first
to overtime,
year head coach too. First year,
100%. Like that was why when Rex Ryan just said that, I was like, that's not true. He's like, your fans would have rather you went for it and not, like, if you didn't get it, than losing no, there's no way. Because looking at it now, it's like you had a chance. You literally would have won that game if Caleb Williams just doesn't make that throw. Like you like Ben. That's why it's crazy for Rex Ryan to say that, because you literally. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Xavier D. Like
fans didn't want that.
Like the thing is Ben Johnson made the right decision to kick it and go to OT. They had the ball with 10 yards out of field goal range.
Just needed a field goal. Yeah.
His defense legit got the stop, and all they needed was a field goal. He made the right decision. His quarterback made the wrong decision. He made the right decision. Like, that's why it's like crazy. Why is Rex being like bench? Like, no, you should be talking about Rex. You should be talking about how, like, that quarterback made that throw.
Dude, yeah. The turnovers, like, dude, how about 4 plays? Like we met, 4 plays to get a touchdown, and you didn't get anything. And by the way, same distance a 2-point conversion would have been. They got 4 plays from a 2-point conversion distance, and they couldn't get it. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. I think the Rams they're definitely, whether it's luck or execution, I don't want to discredit them too much, but they got there. Whew.
You could discredit them. That was like we have seen a lot of Rams games this year.
They got away with one. Dude.
We've played the Rams this year. That was like the worst version of the Rams team.
Honestly, you can argue the Panthers game, they got away with another one, because they had to win that game late, and the Panthers are playing basically prevent defense and just let them get up the field and score. Like that.
They haven't played good football in a little bit now, and now they have to go. They have to go to Seattle, divisional game. Which, by the way, hold on, let me see something, because actually this could change my thought process on this.
What, the spread?
Hold on a sec. Not the spread, but
I was gonna say, can I tell you something?
Oh, they beat them. I thought they lost to them twice, and I was like, I will always if a team lost to someone twice, I will always take them to win. There's no way you could beat a team 3 times, right?
Can I tell you something? I don't think Caleb Czarnik's watching this.
He might be.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it then. I know, actually, screw it. I know what Caleb's gonna do. Caleb's gonna take Seattle. So I'm gonna be rocking with the Rams this week. There's 1,000% chance. And I want to know the spread.
It's 2.5. If I'm you, I'm hoping it moves to 3.5.
Yeah,
so you get the Rams by a field goal.
I'm gonna have.
Who do you want in the Patriots Broncos? It's 4.5.
Caleb, I can see Caleb.
Patriots are favored.
I can see Caleb going Broncos in like a shocking pick. Like I can see him doing some shit like that, because he went against the Patriots, or maybe he overcorrects and picks the Patriots. So I might have to rock with Jarrett Stidham this week.
You probably will, yeah.
So if I go 1-1 and he goes 1-1, that means I have to win the Super Bowl to tie it, because I'm down 2. Or
it'd be over.
Oh, I'd have to go 2-0. So actually, maybe I won't fade him. I'll pick a team that I really do think.
No,
if
you have to fade.
I don't, because if I go 2-0 and he picks 1, I'm down 1 with the Super Bowl left. So I just have to. We have to just pick the right Super Bowl pick, and we're tied. This fading him is what got me in this position. I have to pick the right.
Yeah, actually, no. You have to go 2-0.
I have to fade him at least once. I have to fade him one of the picks.
Yeah, but you have to go 2-0.
I have to go 2-0. Yeah, there's no question. I have to go.
But if you want to tie it to where the Super Bowl winner goes or loser is done, then you can go 2-0 and he goes. You fade him both times and go 2-0.
It's like the 2-point conversion. It's do or die.
Yeah, it's like that's up to you. But I guess you can see what he picks, because maybe you do end up going, fading him both because you don't like what he does.
Naturally, yeah.
Maybe he does go Broncos and you can go Patriots.
I just want to at least have a chance to tie, because then at least we can be like, all right, what's the tiebreaker? Like, I'm in it. Like,
my goal is at the end of next week we can order gear from both teams, and we have both of you in different gear on our Super Bowl party. That's like, if you're looking at Booner's brain, I have like a guy working in an office right now with like a big a big board set up on a whiteboard, and I just have like, this is exactly what I want.
So I have to go. So I went 4-0 this week. I got to go 2-0 next week, and I got to go 7-0 to win. So basically tie this thing or win.
Well, again, yeah.
I can't lose one game. I can't lose.
It would be an all time. Like I locked in the championship, but it would be an all time run, like all time.
To pass Caleb or tie him. That would be.
And honestly, and I love Caleb, and if he is watching this, I love you, brother. But I hope it happens, because it would just be it's great entertainment, like unbelievable.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to ask you too, the Bears, now they're in a different situation now. Remember the Lions got to this point where they make a little run. Now they have an offseason. Now, polls, we're going to get to see an NFC North GM, how they approach offseason after making a run. I want to see because Ben was a part of the Lions. I want to see what they do. Now they might have a little more money because they have a quarterback on a rookie deal, but I want to see their approach. Because you have one NFC North GM in Brad Holmes that believes, draft and develop. He's drafted really good players, develop them, everything. But he kind of is more against the, aggressive approach. Didn't really know the definition when asked about it. He didn't really know what aggressive meant. He had to have it explained by Woj. Wasn't really sure what it meant. But he believes in a different philosophy. So this is kind of, I'm curious, Ryan Poles from the Chiefs. He's from Brett Veach. I wonder how they both philosophies are compared this offseason. I wonder what the Bears are going to do.
Yeah.
You think the Bears are going to draft and develop? Probably not. They'll probably try and get another pass rusher.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I am so far out on the draft and develop thing. And if I'm the Bears, I look exactly what happened with the Lions this year. And if I'm Ben Johnson, I look at the exact same thing and I go, oh, look what happened with them when Brad started to draft and develop. Guys get hurt. And that's where I think people, when they bring up for the Lions, the excuse of injury, it's like, all right, well, if you have injury, typically for injury, you're supposed to have, like, you look at, like, even the Patriots have had a lot of injuries, like, not a lot, but they've had some guys go down and guys step up. You saw the Bears and their defense, guys go down, guys step up.
Yeah, all year. Yeah.
Every team, like, has had this happen. The reason the Lions, if people want to, like, really be like, well, the injuries, well, like, other teams do it and still make the playoffs and still go on runs to win Super Bowls. The difference is like, all these teams don't always draft to develop. Like, they just bring in vets that are, backing up. Where the Lions, it's like, offensive line-wise, Jeff, like, they draft and develop. So when your offensive tackle, Taylor Decker, goes down, you have Giovanni Manu, who's, like, still 5 years out of actually playing real NFL football. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, you don't have an actual backup tackle where other teams legit, they have real backup tackles. And it's like the same thing with in like the corner room or these rooms. It's like, hey, you have practice squad guys or developmental guys. You don't actually have, like, luckily we had Avonte Maddox, who is a vet guy, and guess what happened with Avonte? Avonte was making plays for you down the stretch.
Yeah, Rocky's
like,
another
that's
one.
I think that's a proven, like, look, you can do that. But outside of that, it's just like you don't have that. And if I'm Ryan Poles and I'm the Bears, I'm continuing to find ways to go all in. Like, they don't have to pay anyone still. Like, they still have, like, guys that are young.
Rome, Caleb, like Luther, Loveland.
And if I'm them, Jeff, I'm not paying all of them like Brad Holmes has paid every single one of his draft picks. Like, Brad's like, oh, I drafted you. You're my guy. Like, I got you. Like, you worked for it. You get your money. Like, no, they're going to get their money no matter what. It might be somewhere else, but – and if I'm Ryan Poles, I'm taking notes of what Ben messed up on. Or not Ben, sorry, Brad messed up on. And I'm going to continue to, like, stay young and also stay cheaper. And I'm going to bring in guys like they did with their own line. Like, I'll continue to go out and find the Joe Toonies of the world. I'm going to go who leave their spots, or the Jonah Jacksons of the world.
Yeah, the goal, the whole point of having guys on rookie deals that overproduce, like especially a quarterback, which the Lions cannot relate to that. So I'm not trying to compare directly because they don't have a rookie quarterback, but let's get rookie skill position players, because you can compare Sam Laporta, Loveland. They were both on rookie deals. Roma Dunze is on a rookie deal. Luther Burden, that was at one point. Jamison Williams and Amon Ra at one point until his contract kicked in. They don't have like a Penei Sewell that was on a rookie deal, but still they have some guys, productive players that are on rookie deals. Kyle Manungai, 7th round pick. He's on a cheap deal. But the point of having guys that are producing for you on cheap contracts is to be aggressive while they're cheap. That's the point. Is you're paying, and Kirby, same thing. He was on a rookie deal. Is Brian Branch, another one. Jack Campbell, another one. Aiden Hutchinson, another one, until his contract kicks in. But the whole point of that is you spend more money, go get talented football players to pair with your guys that are cheap. Not saying you give these guys massive long extensions, but maybe you line up certain contracts to where they expire when guys are due to get paid.
Yep.
While Kirby and these guys are all cheap, you go and be aggressive to sign other guys or trade for guys that you can have until those guys, the payday is due, until the money's due. And then you say, well, sorry, we can't have your services. We got to pay all these guys, or the guys we want to keep. What Brad did is you had a bunch of guys on rookie deals, and he didn't do that. So he let a bunch of money sit in the bank, and you kind of just chillaxed. And maybe you signed a Carlton Davis, or didn't sign him, but you traded for him.
Yep.
And then you went and signed a DJ Reed. You signed a DJ Reader. It was like moves that would fill certain positions, but they weren't moves like, wow, the Lions are serious. Like, they're going out and signing, go out and bring guys or trading for guys that can help them on a 2-year deal, or whatever the case may be. So that's where the Lions, and I've said this multiple times and I'll keep saying it, that's where Brad Holmes made a massive mistake, is now you can't do that anymore because guys are now all due to get paid. Not only that, but contracts are kicking in. Kirby, Panay, Jared, all these guys. Now Jack's up. Kirby's you can't do it. Now Brad can say, well, I can't do it now. Everyone like, well, yeah, you had years to do it. You already passed that window. That's where the window conversation comes in. Now, what you can do is go out this draft and hit on some draft picks, that are productive for you. And maybe last year's draft, Tyreek turns into a really good player, Tate and Isaac, and maybe you get some more production, but you're still going to have a bunch of dudes that are expensive. So, yeah, it's a tough position now.
And by the way, too, like this comment right here, and this is what I can't stand. I lost it. Where did it go? Did it get deleted? It might have got deleted. I don't see it anymore.
What was it? What would it say?
I swear I saw someone put out there the Lions, the Bears didn't have a bunch of guys injured. Oh, yeah, crazy call. Like, yeah, they did. They had starters on it, especially defense. Like they drafted Shamar Turner, IR basically the whole time. Didn't play in the playoffs. Noah Sewell, who was their green dot linebacker, Noah Sewell, goes on IR right before I think it was versus Detroit, or did he get hurt during Detroit?
It was either Detroit or right before.
It might have been the 49ers game before. Like the other edge rusher, Deo, is it what's his name?
Yeah, the free agent they signed to be edge 2. He tore his Achilles, I think.
Yes. He was out as well throughout the season, dude. They had so many guys that go on IR.
Jalen Johnson out.
Kyler Gordon was out for a while. CJ Gardner-Johnson was out last week versus the players.
Games. Yeah.
Yes, Austin Booker was on IR at one point this year. Like, dude, you could go down the line and they have a bunch of guys.
Their left tackle's out. Another one, left tackle.
But throughout the season, like Crazy Clown, you mentioned 3 so far. Go look, dude. They had starters all year get put on IR, and they still made the playoffs. And this was the argument I was getting on with someone on Twitter, to where they're like, well, look at the guys at the end of the season who are on IR. That's what you really need to look at. Guys going into the playoffs. Like, no, why are you looking at guys going to the playoffs when the Lions didn't even make the playoffs? Like, your excuse is they didn't make the playoffs because they had injuries. Go look at fun fact, the Packers had more players on IR this year than the Detroit Lions. The Packers made the playoffs. Lions didn't. That's the excuse. And like Hopkins there, Booner, you're talking about bums. They're bums to you because you're not a Bears fan. You're a Lions fan, and you want to be like, those guys are. But to them, their green dot linebacker went down with 4 games remaining, and is out of the playoffs, and they still won a playoff game with no green dot linebacker. They had to move it. That's like losing like Jack Campbell with 4 games remaining, and then still going to the playoffs and winning a playoff game. Or still winning the division.
Yeah, I don't know why people have short-term memory. Like,
and I'm not saying Jack Campbell and Noah Sewell, but I'm saying they're green dot, like the heart of your defense, the guy that calls the plays out, the guy that's communicating with everyone, the guy that's making audibles and adjustments.
How about this? How about you just ask, like, well,
just be straight up.
So look at the defenses, which we're going to get into in a little bit, but even like the Bears defense, how many All-Pros do these defenses have? The Lions had 2 All-Pros healthy, by the way, 2 All-Pros.
Yeah,
they had Jack Campbell and Aiden Hutchinson. So you have 2 All-Pros on defense. That were healthy in your front 7, you still couldn't stop the run. Explain that. How do you have two
You didn't have any injuries on your front 7, by the way. No injuries in your front 7.
No.
Every single starter, not one of your starters went down in your front 7. Marcus Davenport does not count. And by the way, Marcus Davenport came back and played. I think at just some point, Jeff, like, and this is what it is. If you're a Lions fan, at some point you could just be like, yeah, they were bad. Like, hand up. If you want to keep making excuses like crazy, I'm sure some of these people that make excuses like in life, like they just like in normal day life, just make excuses for everything. That's how I feel sometimes about Lions fans. Like, you just make excuses instead of actually trying to find and fix the problem. You know what I'm saying, Jeff? Like, that's where it's like,
because
figure out what the problem is, fix it, and then move on. But quit making excuses for a team that underperformed. It had nothing to do with your, like, yeah, there was a small part of injuries. Stop making excuses for it.
Well, that's the problem I have.
They did it last year.
People would rather be like, and this is how people cope, and I understand it's like the human element. Well, if we were just healthy, we'd be fine. So next year we just got to get healthy.
And then next year you don't get your injured
but
again.
That's like the easy thing for a fan to be like, oh, they just got to get healthy. Like, we're good. We're still good. They don't want to face the reality, which is you were healthy enough to be better than what you were, and you didn't do it. So on top of that, coaching is what lets you down. coaching lets you down. Now, let's bring up the 49ers before we get to the defense, because they obviously fell apart and got destroyed. People are going to, if you want to use that and be like, well, see, look at, they were injured and look at, they got destroyed. The 49ers overachieved so much. I mean, they basically had no Aiden Hutchinson, no Jack Campbell. They lost multiple secondary guys. They had no one on defense. They lost basically their first round pick as an edge rusher. They were without basically their Amon-Ra St. Brown. They were without their Sam Laporta. Against they had 3-4 times as many
throughout
injuries.
the season. They had their starting quarterback out for about 8 games,
and they had a backup quarterback playing.
Ricky Pearsall was out throughout the year.
If you want to compare, don't compare the Bears. Compare the 49ers. You lose that argument every time. And they lost to the Seahawks. Eventually, no one thought the 49ers were going to win the Super Bowl. But the point that people are making is, look what they were able to do. They made the playoffs, and guess what? They won a playoff game. With what they had. You didn't even make the playoffs with 4 All-Pros starting on your football team. 4 All-Pros. That's insane, dude.
Yeah. And this is it too, like Crazy Clown. We could keep going back and forth about this. He said, but the teams that don't win one, those are the ones we need to use. It's not that the teams that don't win one, it's you didn't make the playoffs. It's the conversation. This isn't a conversation about, let's use the teams that didn't win a Super Bowl as a blueprint. Listen, that's not it at all. Because you know what's crazy, Crazy Clown, is throughout this whole season, what have Jeff and I talked about the blueprint for? We talk about Howie Roseman and the Eagles, and then guess what people say? Why you guys bring up Howie Roseman? Howie Roseman didn't win a Super Bowl for 10 years. Why are you using it? Okay, so we use that as a blueprint. So now we're going to go and move over to the teams that actually made the playoffs and be like, why didn't we make the playoffs, but these teams did? Well, you can't use that as a blueprint. So what blueprint do you want? You want us just to bow down to Brad Holmes and just be like, hey, you're doing a good job. You don't have to do with the Eagles and the Bears and these other teams who are playing in January while you're sitting at home in Cancun. You know what I'm saying? What do you want us to what blueprint? Do you want us just to be like, yeah, no, he's doing a great job what he's doing? No, you missed the playoffs, and it had nothing to do fully with injuries. It was that there were different parts of this football team that weren't ready to go. Yeah. And also coaching was bad.
Dude, it was a collective failure. And if you want to make things worse, you beat the Bears twice and still didn't make the playoffs. That was your division winner.
And the team that had more players on IR than you, the Packers, you lost to them twice.
Yeah, the Vikings.
And they well, no, I'm talking about the Packers. Yeah, the Vikings lost to the Vikings. Yeah. Literally, if you can beat the Packers and the Vikings one time, you're sitting in the playoffs. These conversations aren't had. We were having different conversations.
Yeah, I mean,
these are games. These are winnable games. Yeah, these are games you were favored by 8, 9. Vikings, you were an 8-point favorite at home. Steelers, you were a 7-point favorite at home.
Dude, it's just,
this has nothing to do with blueprints of other teams and you being like, you guys are glazing other teams. No. This team sucked.
Yeah, this team underperformed terribly
by a lot.
Yeah, like that, and that's the point. And it's not about people, whether people want to say, you're putting out negativity or you're being down on a team. But dude, it's just being real, honestly. I think
this is just, you're just a slappy at this point. Your opinion does not matter on the other side because you can't. You favor your team no matter what. That's what that tells me.
Yeah, and fans are going to be fans are going to be loyal no matter what. Respect that, okay? But at least if you can at least look at this team and be like, they fell short of the playoffs. They should have been a playoff team. How about that? Take away the Super Bowl.
That's it, dude.
They should have at least been a playoff team.
That's why next year I said my opinion. It's not even Super Bowl or bust. It's just get back in the dance and win a playoff game, and then we could go from there. Like that. That's how I look at this.
You should. They should have definitely been a playoff team. There's not even a debate. And if you say, if you argue they were right to miss the playoffs, I don't know what you're watching. And I don't, with 4 All-Pros on your football team. It's insane. And honestly, it starts with that defense, which people want to bring up the injuries. And you tweeted this out, which is it's a great tweet. You tweeted out, it's crazy what an elite defense can do in the NFL. Get an elite defense and contend for a Super Bowl. Seattle Seahawks, number 1 defense, points per game. This is scoring defenses. Number 1 in defense, points per game allowed. Denver, number 3. By the way, you don't have the Rams on here, but the Rams are top 10, I believe.
Yeah. So I just tweeted this out after day 1. Day 2, also the Rams might be top 10, but the Patriots are also number 4 on that list. The Texans, who lost to the Patriots, they were number 2. So Seattle Seahawks, number 1. Number 2 was the Houston Texans, who were a possession away from going to the AFC Championship game. Number 3, the Broncos, and then number 4, literally right under. I tweeted this again. I tweeted this on Saturday night after the Broncos game. But number 4 is the New England Patriots. So three of the 4 teams in the conference championship week next week that are playing to go to a Super Bowl are all top 4 in scoring defense in the NFL.
How about this stat? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many teams make the playoffs? Let me ask you that.
14.
11 of the 14 are top 15 in scoring defense.
Where are we at?
Which that's insane. The Lions are 22nd. By the way, Chicago 23rd. They're the anomaly, right? They forced all the turnovers, which they were able to do, but they overachieved. I mean, speaking of coaching, they overachieved. But 11 of the 14 were top 15 in scoring defense. You have the teams that were not are you have Chicago. You have Pittsburgh at 17, Carolina at 16. So, by the way, the 2 other ones just outside at 16 and 17. So, yeah, I mean, talk about the importance of having a good, not only defense, but scoring defense. That's defense wins championship, guys. Defenses win championships and quarterback play, obviously, but that is the tale old as time. It has never changed. So when we bring up, your defense had a healthy front 7, couldn't stop the run, and you guys were inconsistent as a unit, that's where we're coming from. Especially when 11 of the 14 teams that were top 15 in scoring defense made the playoffs, a lot of those teams, to Booner's point earlier, suffered a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Okay. More than the people that talk about it are probably more comfortable than talking about it because it's a lot.
I think you put it, and I think, and by the way, too, can you the doc commented on this? Or no, can you go to my profile? Can you click on it? He didn't comment on this one. I tweeted out. This was one of the funniest things. If you still watch it,
I'll pop this little retweet right here. Which one?
Keep going. By the way, look at the comments on that the Caleb Williams thing. Go up a little bit. Look at how many comments are on that one.
Holy
60 and that just started happening.
All right.
Shout out Will Rock. So it was a pure luck throw. All right, but you can go back real quick. So it's the one underneath.
This one?
Yes, Doc's comment. I think Doc messed up, but he tweeted out offense, and then he said all this shit. Look, he was like, look at all the playoff teams that are top 5, and he just had the 2025 postseason
playoff teams.
Oh, dude, that was so funny.
But he is right. Technically, you're right because you pulled it up.
Yeah, I pulled it up after. I was like, you're right, but like the Lions, I was like, offense isn't the problem. Like, it's really just like you already have the top 5 offense. It's really more so if you can add a top, even just 10 defense. Like, look at the Rams. The Rams have a top 10 defense, but they also had the number 1 offense in the NFL this year.
Yeah. So what you're saying is complete teams. That's complete teams.
Doc saying these are playoff teams scoring points. But yeah, Doc, you messed up. It's all right. You butchered that. But it was like your response was very. You just put
his
the
response
wrong
is true, but
it's true, but you just put up the wrong stats, which is funny because you essentially just pushed the Lions out of there, which the Lions are in there. Their offense is good. It's again. That's why I made the statement last week where it was like, you guys are focused on the wrong coordinator. You should be focused on the defensive side of the ball. Like I get it, like you need a new OC, so it's fine. But you're focused, your sole focus is just on OC, when it should be number 1 focus this offseason should be defensive coordinator fixing this defense. And there should be no excuses on the injury side of point. Like I get your safeties went down, but you should like you had Brian Branch majority of the season. Like, dude, you were bottom half of the season or of the NFL in defense. You need to figure out this defense. And it feels like they did, again, me and Jeff, you said it last week. They just keep ignoring it, it feels like. They just won't address the defense, which is very frustrating for years. You have not had an elite defense here, and that hurts, especially when you have such a good offense.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at the Lions' postseason run when they made the NFC Championship game. Go look at that scoring defense with Aaron Glenn. To what we were talking about. Now, eventually, the bend don't break approach. That was, they didn't completely they didn't really have a good defense, but they were good when they allowed teams, under a certain amount of points. They were a good scoring defense. They weren't a great defense overall, but they kept teams out of the end zone. These teams are a little different where they actually have a good defense and they have a good scoring defense. But the Lions still had a good scoring defense and made an NFC championship run.
Yeah.
So you kind of had it almost figured out where you had a great offense, you had good coaches, which goes back to my other point where you kind of missed that opportunity to be more aggressive when guys were cheap. But when they made the run, Boone, that's your point. Good scoring defense. So it's like, this isn't, people want to bring up nitpicking or using bad examples or, that's, you guys are just what is it called? Cherry picking certain things. No, it's been the tale of this time. Defenses win championships. Obviously, good offenses along with that, no question. But you didn't have a good defense. You just didn't have a good defense. You didn't. With enough pieces to at least be better than 22nd in points per game.
That's crazy. You're the bottom half. You're at the bottom 10 of the NFL of points per game given up. And your defense is in your Super Bowl era.
Yeah, it's they gave up 25 points on the road. And if you look at 2024, the Lions were last year with all the injuries, the Lions were even, I think they were higher than they were this year. And I know they had a different schedule, but still, look at the teams they allowed those points to, though. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, bro, they couldn't even score points. I know it was the Texans, but that's how their offense has been, kind of fugazi at times. And you allowed them to run for 200-plus yards, and they're not even a good rushing team. So it's just like, what? Yeah, defenses, you're absolutely right. The Lions are focused, or at least the fan base sometimes right now, at least the conversation, focus on the wrong side of the ball. The offensive line needs to get fixed, but I'm not as worried about the offense as I am the defense. Yep. Mike McDaniel is going to be great if they hire him. Awesome hire. And I think the offense is going to, you're going to be able to run the ball better. I think there'll be fixes. You address the O-line. But we're still going into the next season with basically a defense that's led by a coordinator, and I think he underachieved. So we're still
I think it's more so as well like a two-way street when it comes to the defense. Dan needs to address it in the coordinator and all that, and you need to address whatever you're doing defensively. Same thing goes off for Brad Holmes when it comes to the defense. You've thought that you built a good defense, and I think there are some really, really good pieces on the defense, but he's failed in moments of building this defense. He's brought in guys that are just the wrong guys at the end of the day, right? The other edge rusher, like AQM, you could say, okay, decent or good, whatever you want to say about him. But when it talks about the Levi, the Josh Pascal, the Marcus Davenport, even in the interior, the Aleem thing, how bad Aleem was this year, you've just brought the pieces in, and you might have thought they were good, but they haven't been as good as we've expected, and the defense hasn't been that good, and especially even in the secondary, corner wise, you drafted TA. People got mad at me for bringing up that was something else this weekend. Another tweet that just went nuts that people were mad that I said about them drafting TA and Ennis Rakestraw over Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. And I know the picks didn't line up, people are trying to make that point, but it's more so evaluating and who do you have high on your board. And hey, if you had Quinyon as your number one corner, then that should be your only first round corner. And then you move on and you maybe stay where you're at and draft Cooper DeJean or whatever you want to do, or you go a different position group. But it seems like he's failed at that defensively, building a legit defense when it comes to and you look around the league right now, defensively, look who's built a defense with elite players outside the secondary, but the up front in Los Angeles, those guys, they have dudes everywhere up front, everywhere. You were who's the landman guy? The landman guy, they just signed him to a contract extension. I don't even know where they got him, but they find a way to find guys that want to play football. How about the Patriots building a defense in one offseason? Building a defense.
And let's be real, I got a lot of respect for Mike Vrabel. That defense, they got good corners.
You don't know half those players.
But that defensive line, they signed Milton Williams, who Williams is a solid defense tackle. He's not a game breaker. They have Harold Landry. He's not bad, but they don't have anywhere
on that defense. They have Christian Gonzalez, and then
he's a good player. Carlton, not a bad player. Carlton Davis.
Yeah, but
it's not like they're a game-breaking defense.
But the
like
fact that they
Vrabel's
even
having them overachieve with that defense.
Corner-wise, though, the fact that even corner-wise, Jeff, you're two corners. Like the Lions' best corner last year was Carlton Davis, and they essentially just got, I'm not going to say style-wise and player-wise with Carlton, but with DJ Reed, but they got like the same kind of level player with DJ Reed and Carlton. Carlton is their corner too. They have an elite corner with Christian Gonzalez, and then they have Carlton. Lions, Carlton was their best, and they expected to go out there and get stops. Like, Brad, what are you doing? You need to go out and get an elite corner, and then you can go get a guy like Carlton or whatever. But like, I heard Greg Olsen actually say it this morning on a show on Fox Sports. Greg Olsen was essentially just like, dude, like this Patriots defense, they have a group, especially in their secondary, he said, of guys that no one has ever heard of outside of Christian Gonzalez. No one's heard of half of these guys. But guess what they're doing? They're out there making plays, and not just like small plays like a tackle. Like, I don't even know who his name was. Had a pick six. They had multiple turnovers of guys that you just never heard of, but they're playing high-level football. And that's the difference here in Detroit, where it's like, yeah, you have guys, but like you're not making defensively, they're just not making game-changing plays. And these guys that you're hoping step up, like, yeah, and Jay Hart, like we've heard of Carlton Davis, but like go look at some of their other players on that defense. Half of the defense you don't know. And it's like those guys are making plays. And it's because you have a great defensive mind in there with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, dude, it's very simple. Coaches put their players in the NFL in the best position to make plays, and talented players make plays. But coaches are putting their players in position to make plays. Like you can say, well, it's on the Lions players. They just got to make more plays. And Kelvin Shepard brought up, he used this in the press conference. The guys are always at the point of attack. They're always there to make a play. They just don't make it. Well, they continuously fail to make it. So what's not being understood here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get your job, Kelvin, is to put them in position, but they're failing to do so. So whatever the message that you're preaching is not getting across, or at least staying in these guys' heads where they're going out and executing consistently. So again, I know the players probably love Kelvin. I think Kelvin's a great guy. All right. Would love to talk football with Kelvin. I got nothing against the man, but the coach, like, I don't think the Lions have time to figure this thing out, man. I don't. And I know, there's been some changes around the NFL right now. Like Sean McDermott just got fired. He's probably going to get some head coaching opportunities, or at least an interview. That's a defensive-minded guy that if he doesn't get a head coaching job, I will
say Superfan LLL Superfan said, let's get McDermott for DC. I can almost I would put
there'll be a team
stamp on it. Sean McDermott will be he'll be a head coach. He did very well in Buffalo. He won in 9 years. He went to the playoffs 8 times. He won 6 divisions. He's going to be a head coach somewhere. His time is there, just kind of unraveled.
I think he's a partial Josh Allen.
Yeah, but I do think he's a very good leader.
He is. He is. He's not a bad coach. I think they needed to make that move. Now they're going to interview. I know Shaw says, just woke up, heard the news. Joe Brady as Lions OC is my new favorite idea. They're probably going to interview him to be the head coach in Buffalo. To be honest, they'll probably interview him first. I mean, he's already there.
See who one of the main candidates is, which is crazy. Did you see
who?
Brian Dable. A lot of people are saying, well, one of Josh Allen's favorite people he's ever worked with is Brian Dable. And I think I saw a couple of reporters tweet out and say, there's a legit chance we see Brian Dable as the head coach of the Bills next year. But the problem is, I just saw a tweet. I can read it here for you. Let me pull it up.
That would be nuts. Brian Dable stays in New York, goes to Buffalo.
Ari Marov just posted this. He said league rules actually prevent the Bills from interviewing candidates on playoff teams, and they can't speak with candidates from the Super Bowl teams until after February 8th, so almost a month. He said that puts candidates like Clint Kubiak, Davis Webb, Chris Shula, Mike LaFleur, Vance Joseph, Nathan Scheelhaus off the table for now, and possibly into February, depending on who goes to the Super Bowl. That's nuts. Those are some big names for them.
You wait then. I would wait. I would just be, because honest, I get Dayball has the connection with Josh Allen, but if I'm a GM, dude, there's some great offensive coaches that are
For
in the playoffs
sure.
right now. Isn't that a great thing? Wouldn't you want to wait for a guy who's deep in the playoffs right now, like coaching? Like, isn't that?
Yeah,
like,
but I think the difference is I think a lot of these other teams that have openings have already spoken with some of those guys. So you could, like, if you wait and those guys take other jobs in the meantime, you're left with the worst.
But at least you have the bonus of being the Bills. So like, there's going to be a coach that's going to be like, well, I'm going to wait to see what they do. Like Dayball, like let's say Tennessee, maybe he has a decent shot of getting that job, but Buffalo's like, well, hold on, Dayball, like we you're up there. Like I think he would want to go to Buffalo.
Did you also see Brandon Bean? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's leading. I saw he's leading the search. I'm surprised he didn't get fired. If I'm being honest.
He didn't. They didn't just say you're still here. They promoted him, and they made him president of operations and GM. So they gave him a bigger title. So he now has more control of obviously coaching search and like I'm pretty sure that's how they went about it. I saw a lot of people this morning tweeting out and be like, how is that possible? Let me go see if I can find it.
Dude, drafting Josh Allen got that man a freaking. He is like a legend there. Because like he's drafted some good players, but he isn't like Brandon Bean's not a bad GM at all, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I'm trying to find to see if there was like the exact. Let me just look up Brandon Bean. Remember, we kept seeing Brandon Beam at the combine. And every time we
this guy's doing everything but getting Josh Allen.
Dude, it was frustrating me so much. We were at the combine for like 4 days, and we would just turn the corner. We would go to a restaurant, we would go to a bar, we would go here, and it was just Brandon Bean with like a beer in his hand every single corner we turned. And I'm like, can this guy go evaluate players and get Josh Allen a wide receiver? Can he go help this guy out, man? Okay, so they said, where is it? I can't find it, dude. The promotion.
Dude, that is hilarious. This man, I mean, oh yeah, that was fun.
Oh, here it is. Shefty tweeted out, Bills promoted Brandon Bean and added the title president of football operations to go along with GM, and he now will oversee all facets of the organization.
Wow.
So now he just runs the Bills. Before he was just roster. Now he's everything.
I can't believe it. I really can't. Lion says Rex Ryan said Bill Belichick for Buffalo.
There's no way, right?
I mean, I don't know about that, man. I love Bill Belichick. I don't know if that's really like a.
I think he might be done, man.
Yeah, that man. He's.
I wanted him to go, become the all-time leader and go. He needed like 16 more games. Like I wanted him to get that. Now it's just like he was so bad in New England at the end, like so bad.
Yeah, I don't think so. I would not hire Bill Belichick. I really wouldn't. And that sounds crazy, but go get the best offensive mind you can. Pair him with Josh Allen, boom. Like that's what you want. I mean, that's just an offensive guy that has the leadership qualities. Like that's who they should go get. Perfect. You see what it's doing. And not that coaching lost them the game against the Broncos, but turnovers did, but still like Sean McDermott. I've been saying it for a while. I think he's the coach that gets him close. They need a coach to take him over the top.
Yeah.
They need a coach that'll help him get over the top.
When that happened today, a lot of people were tweeting out, like giving examples of like Tony Dungy in Tampa and then John Gruden came in, put him over the top. I mean, you even saw it. I mean, different sport, but the Warriors with Steph and Clay and all of them.
Yeah, Mark Jackson.
Yeah, and then you kind of just switch the vibe up a little bit, and you bring in Steve Kerr, changes everything. Boom, you win a championship right away. A lot of people are kind of using those examples today as that, and I think it's true. I think sometimes you just like you have a Super Bowl team, and you're in a Super Bowl window, and that message just gets a little too like, hey, you're just going to be you're never going to win it with that, and it sucks sometimes. But
what do I always say to you? The biggest indictment on a head coach is if you're an offensive guy or a defensive guy, your side of the ball isn't good. And the Buffalo, their defense isn't good. And he's a defensive coach.
Yeah.
Like that to me.
And you
like,
could argue though that's like Brandon Beane too, because the defense, like there was just a lot of felt like he swung and a miss. Like I looked at some of his drafts earlier this morning, and it was just like swing and a miss. Like he just wasn't. A lot of guys he drafted defensively. Maxwell Hairston, where I mean, I watched the Bills multiple times this year. I don't think I saw Maxwell. He might have been hurt all year. I don't know. That's like a first-round draft pick, though, for you. That's supposed to be. I only remember. I think I saw him get one interception, and I just don't remember hearing his name. I don't know. I'm with you on that, though.
Yeah, I think there's going to be. I mean, there's going to be another worst to first team somewhere. I mean, there's so many head coaching openings. I know we have So we had our head coaching segment where we kind of put coaches to teams. So far as a team, we're 2-2, or 2 for 2. We had Kevin Stefanski to Atlanta, and we had John Harbaugh to the Giants, which honestly, like that one, we probably had more of a layup, but 2 for 2 so far. There's still a lot of more coaches that are out there. There's finalists you hear about from some teams that's kind of coming down to it. I know the Titans have, don't they have Robert Saleh, Nagy, and someone else as a finalist?
And I think Chris Shula, maybe.
Yeah, Chris Shula, who he just had a pretty good performance in the playoffs.
So
So who do we have?
Falcons, we're good. We're 2 for 2. We had the Matt Nagy going to the Titans. We actually have Jesse Minter to the Ravens. I don't know if he's actually interviewed for that job.
He did.
Okay. So I don't, yeah. Well, we're going to start seeing second interviews come through. We have Raiders, Clint Kubiak. Oh, Clint Kubiak might be the other one in Tennessee. I could be wrong, but
I had Clint to the Raiders.
that's what we have here. We both agreed on that. We agreed with Brian Flores to the Steelers, Jeff Hafley to the Cardinals, Jim Schwartz to the Browns, which he got a second interview. I don't know if you saw that. That momentum's starting to pick up a little bit. Chris Shula to the Dolphins, which I don't know if that's going to happen.
No,
actually,
they said Jeff Hafley might get that job.
Well, if Jeff Hafley takes a different job, the Dolphins job gets really interesting because you could say Chris Shula, but say example here, Jeff, real quick. Are you ready for this? Say Jeff Hafley gets a different job from the Dolphins, right? Let's say he goes to like the Cardinals. Chris Shula takes the Steelers job. Or one of them takes the Titans job. Dolphins now wide open. You know who interviews for the Dolphins right now as we are speaking? I just saw a tweet go out 10 minutes ago that said currently, this morning.
Is it Joe Brady?
Kelvin Shepard, right now as we speak, instead of working on the Detroit Lions defense, he is currently in Miami at the Dolphins facility. First interview. He is at the Dolphins facility as we speak, interviewing for the Miami Dolphins head coaching job. As we speak, right now, he is sitting in that building with ownership, interviewing, and the new GM that they have there, and he is interviewing for that position.
I don't know if it's second because I think they requested.
Yeah, I think it's his
they
first.
allowed him. I think the report we saw was he was requested.
I believe it's his first interview.
If it's his second,
before it was requested.
We're saying it's the second. That's a big guys. We got to know.
No. Here, I got you.
We got to know.
Give me
second interview
2
means
seconds.
They really like him.
Albert Breer tweeted out the Dolphins are interviewing Lions defensive coordinator in Miami this morning. It's his first interview with the team.
Okay,
that's
a big deal.
I get what you guys are saying because the report happened last week. It's his first interview.
Because imagine if it was the second, that means they like him a lot.
Yeah, 100%. That's a big deal. But today is his first.
Okay.
It got reported that they requested and he wanted to go interview for it. And then today it's actually is the interview. When Albert Breer put it out, it's like his actual interview is this morning. He's in the building. Which again, like I wish it was his second. Listen, people in there would be like, it's a second. I wish you were right. I wish it was his second. And someone just put it in the chat there too. I saw Detroit Times tweeted out yesterday. We do get the 2 comp picks. And Tim said the Rooney Rule. I want to see something real quick, actually. Dolphins head coach interviews. Let's see who they've interviewed.
He was the Rooney Rule, I think.
Are you sure?
Because they haven't hired any. I don't think they've interviewed any African American candidates.
Yeah, Clint Kubiak, Kevin Stefanski, Joe Brady, Jeff Hafley, Patrick Graham, and Kelvin Shepard, and Chris Shula.
Oh, Patrick Graham.
I don't know who that is. They interviewed Patrick Graham.
Yeah, Patrick Graham he's African.
So no, they yeah, then they could actually want to. Yeah, so there it is.
So
Shep might have a chance at this job.
Well, hold on. Okay, let me.
That's what I'm telling you. If Clint Kubiak, so Kevin Stefanski already got hired. If Clint Kubiak gets hired somewhere else, Jeff Hafley gets hired somewhere else, and Chris Shula does as well, which is very likely that these guys go to like the Steelers, the Raiders. Chris Shula could end up in Las Vegas, the Cardinals, and then you're sitting there with Miami. Miami's going, all of our top 3 candidates are gone. Who do we go? And then they're like, you know what? Let's bring because I think they want a defensive guy. That's by their interviews outside of Joe Brady. They just went Mike McDaniel, offensive. I think they want a defensive-minded head coach that's tough, that has culture. It feels like Shep could be that guy. Momentum's picking up.
Hold on. No, please, football gods. We were just talking about the football gods yesterday. Please, and I think this is a win-win. This is a win-win. You get Kelvin, congratulations. You get a promotion. Awesome. Happy for you, bro. All right, get the promotion. You get the guaranteed money. Happy for him. Happy for his family. That's a big deal. Also a win for the Lions. You get compensatory picks, and you get a new DC.
Dude, that's huge. That's so big, man. That would be unbelievable,
that's
man.
A win-win-win. Everyone's happy.
What if the reason Dan hasn't moved on from Shep was he just knows like Miami's like, we got you. You're getting the job. And Dan was like, I won't fire you. You're good.
Yeah, because I wonder if things change if a coach is fired. Maybe not, actually. No.
I mean, if you get fired, like look at who just got fired. Kevin Stefanski just got fired. Oh yeah, he was not a coordinator. I mean, Arthur Smith.
Like, I'll keep you here because
Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith. I guess
he's been getting head coaching interviews.
But I guess he didn't get fired. I think technically Mike Tomlin got fired, even though it doesn't say he got fired. He walked away. But I wonder, maybe Dan was like, "Hey, bro, I got you. Like, I know I'll keep you here. Like,
if you don't get the Dolphins job, you're fired, though."
Yeah.
That's so tough, dude. It's like yeah. So if you don't get the Dolphins head coach, we got to demote you to linebackers coach.
Yeah, we got to get you out of here, bro.
You know, the chances in right
what
now.
What if Miami brings in Sean McDermott? Oh no.
Oh, that could happen because that's the defensive coach. That actually, Sean McDermott's going to get a head coaching job. That's gonna happen.
Everybody, all the guys that want defensive guys, I believe now Sean McDermott goes to number 1 on that list because he's the best defensive head coach on paper. Like,
if I was a GM and I wanted, if I was looking for a head coach, like I would either go like offensive minded, but if I was like I want defense, I would go.
Yeah, he has got his resume. There's no one like that has his resume as a coach. I mean,
like honestly, the Raiders, and I know again, you were like offensive Tom Brady offense. But if he goes in there with the Raiders and he establishes what he did in Buffalo and they draft the quarterback Mendoza and he brings in a good OC like he had when he had Dable, the Raiders could he could turn the Raiders around. I totally believe Sean McDermott could. I think he could turn a lot of these places around. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers, a defensive organization.
In my opinion, if they want to keep a defensive guy, like Sean McDermott wouldn't be a bad option there.
Like originally it was Brian Flores was our pick, but I wouldn't be shocked that they're like, let's go Sean McDermott.
Yeah, they keep guys for a while. And the fact that they keep guys for so long means they probably want someone it's a more safe hire. They're like, we don't want to hire an unproven guy and fire him in 2 years. So
yeah.
Sean McDermott.
Same with the Ravens.
Ravens, yeah, another one. Like resume. You know what I mean?
Ravens don't care about what type of coach like when it comes to offense, defense, because they hired
John was
special teams coordinator. Yeah, they hired a special teams coordinator. They're more so like we want culture in here. Like we want to have
and they've interviewed both offensive and defensive guys. They don't really have a preference, it seems. They just want a good coach. But yeah, we'll see. I think that would be amazing for the Detroit Lions, man. Kelvin Shepard gets hired away. We'll see. We'll stay on top of that. If it's his first interview, so it doesn't mean anything right now. As it means something that they're interviewing him, of course. But he played linebacker there with Miami. So it does mean something. Also, owner of the Dolphins, Michigan man. I don't know if that means anything, but you know what? We'll see. Maybe this could be maybe this could all work out in the best way possible. We don't have to root for a guy to get fired. He just gets it. He gets a promotion. Imagine being an owner of a team or a GM of a team, and you're like, I'm going to interview this guy. And you have no idea that the fan base is like, please interview, please hire this guy. And you're like, no, this guy's a good candidate. And in reality, there's all these fans that are like, yes, please get him out of the building.
That has to be a tough, a tough.
Like, and he has no clue. He's like, oh yeah, we're good. We'll bring the guy in. So we'll see what happens. Dante donated 5 earlier. Appreciate that. Sorry for not reading it earlier. He says, I could see the Bears go running back in the first round. What do you say? What say you guys? I mean, maybe if they want to try and copy the Lions exactly and go get their Gibbs, but I thought the run game was pretty good. They were like one of the best rushing offenses this year. So I don't know. Is DeAndre Swift expire? I guess if he's expiring, maybe they draft a running back, but I would take a pass rusher if I'm them. I mean, you need more pass rush help for sure. But yeah, we'll see what the Bears do. Appreciate the 5 as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know if Joe Brady's going to get interviewed. That's a guy who's worked with different quarterbacks. I mean, he's worked with Josh Allen, but he's also worked with Joe Burrow at LSU. So he's a offensive coordinator that it's not like Cliff Kingsbury where Cliff's worked with only running quarterbacks. He's worked with 2. So I like Joe Brady. I would assume he's going to get head coaching interviews, but if he doesn't, again, you have the benefit of being a very attractive destination for offensive coordinators that maybe you could get Joe Brady in for an interview, and whether it gets reported or not, maybe they do speak to him. But and you get to see. I think what helps is Ben Johnson. He just got fast tracked, and now he's a head coach. I think people are like, okay, if I go coach this offense, I'll get a job. Same with Philly. So yeah. We'll see what happens with Joe Brady. I wouldn't mind that if he's brought in. That's a dude with a resume for sure.
Oh, if he was brought into Detroit?
Yeah, just interviewed.
I think that would be a great if they somehow could get if they could honestly if you would be like dream candidates, and if Joe Brady's going to have a couple. He's had coaching interviews, so he's going to have an opportunity. But
yeah, he's got 3 interviews.
Actually, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, Jeff, you actually have a really good chance, in my opinion, because if you look at like the openings, you probably have the Eagles, Tampa Bay, Chargers, and Lions. Those are the top 4 OC jobs, correct? Now you just added another elite OC with Mike McDaniel and Joe Brady. If people look at the Lions as one of the top 2, you have a chance to actually land one of those 2. And I think if you land Mike McDaniel or Joe Brady, I think that's a home run hire for Dan Campbell. Because Joe Brady was really like, and if you want to be like, let's get back to what Ben Johnson was doing, Joe Brady was doing Ben. We just saw a hook and ladder 2 days ago with the Bills. And Joe Brady wasn't the reason they lost. It was Josh Allen. So like Joe Brady wasn't the one that fumbled the ball to essentially end the half and give 3 free points to the other team.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at Joe Brady's going to get head coaching interviews because he's a Broyles Award winner, basically top assistant in college football when Joe Burrow won the Heisman. Yep. He was with the Bills, got promoted after Ken Dorsey got fired. He was promoted to interim offensive coordinator. Look at this. The Bills offense went from entirely focused on passing and being more balanced, favoring running backs, James Cook and Ty Johnson.
Wasn't he the OC for the Panthers for a little bit too?
He was. It was with Matt Rule, and he was there for like less than a year. I don't know what.
I think that was like the one good offense that they had. Was it not? I thought they had a good offense when he was
I don't remember. I don't honestly remember at all.
With I think it was like CMC. I think
he was fired.
I could be wrong.
He was fired there, but I don't know why.
Then maybe it wasn't.
That was I think 2021 was like.
I thought that was CMC.
No, I think that was maybe you're right, actually. Maybe I'm thinking.
I could go check real quick. You said that was 2021?
Yeah, 2021. He was fired on 2021, but yeah. December 5th. So like mid of the season. Late in the season.
Oh, they had Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Did they beat the Lions that year? Or no, that was the year after, I think.
That I don't know. They had Cam Newton for 8 games. Jeez, they had Cam Newton play 8 games that year. 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Sam Darnold, 9 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Chuba Hubbard. CMC only played 7 games. DJ Moore had 1,100 yards. Yeah, that's a tough.
Yeah, that's not. He had a thing in Buffalo. It says here he further redefined his philosophy from the previous year, where they went to more running the football, and he had a term "everybody eats," resulting in a league record 13 offensive players receiving touchdowns. So that's a great game. I mean, fits the Lions, but I doubt he's probably going to get a head coaching job. But everybody
he might get that Bills job.
I like that. Yeah, because they still scored. I mean, Josh Allen had how many turnovers? They still scored 30 plus points. Like that's I think they scored 30 in that game. And then he had 4 turnovers. So it's like, he didn't do a bad job, Joe Brady. I mean, James Cook had an incredible year. They had no receivers. Yeah. I mean, that's I can see that happening. Someone in the chat said I can see Kelvin Shepard being a better head coach than a coordinator. We went. I'm
Not the same thing about AG and Jets.
Hand up. I did too. I'm done with that. All right. I'm done with that. That was a bad take by me. I just some of those takes of saying like, well, this guy could translate. It is true for some guys, but I'm not going to say that. I don't.
Yeah, like the AG thing. I know he has. I don't know. Dude, I don't even think it could be like he had a bad team like that. I don't think that Jets roster was like the worst in the world. Like I thought the Jets roster was like
they were historic for bad reasons. Like they were.
Yeah, I thought they were semi decent, and that defense was so bad.
0
interceptions in a year for the first time of any NFL football team. And he's a defensive coach.
Yeah, that's bad. And they gave up like a historic amount of points. I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. So it's insane. You want to, I mean, we have Doc's 7-round mock draft that I want to get to today.
Was there anything else? I want to make sure we didn't miss any NFL playoffs, coaching cycle, McDermott fired Stefanski, Lions OC updates. I mean, the Mike McDaniels, real quick, the Mike McDaniels thing, it got put out yesterday, Albert Breer. So Albert Breer, Jeff, he did an article like a day ago, and he said the 2 teams that have, that is kind of the front runner. He didn't say front runners, but he used different terms. But like that, the teams that are like at the head right now of Mike McDaniel, he said he feels like Mike McDaniel is going to end up being an OC instead of a head coach. And he said the 2 teams at the front are Tampa Bay and the Detroit Lions. So he had those 2. Yeah, I put the article in the prep, but then today he released another article, and I tweeted it out from Crunch Time where he said he thinks it's Tampa Bay. He said I've heard Tampa Bay could be a good spot for him, and he said the thought process with that as well is people believe that if Todd Bowles gets out there in the next year or 2, that Mike McDaniel is the kind of predecessor, the guy that takes over for Todd Bowles.
So he's thinking of it like that. He might be thinking of it like that.
Yeah.
Where he's like, if I take this job.
And like in Detroit, like you're not going to be like Dan Campbell's probably not going anywhere for a while. Like you would have to have a drastic drop off over the next 2 or 3 years for Dan Campbell to get fired. Like I could see like if you're talking about like who takes over in Detroit, like I would think Brad is the one over Dan, in my opinion. Like if that happens, just based off the roster needs and stuff.
So here's the article you're talking about. So here's the section of that. It says McDaniel could start a domino effect. He says Mike McDaniel is Albert Breer, SI. Shout out to the doc. Mike McDaniel has become a big domino for teams seeking OCs. He's a prominent name in the searches of both the Lions and Buccaneers and looms as a potential OC for his close friend, Robert Saleh, should the 49ers DC land a job like the one in Tennessee. So that's even a possibility as well. I
don't think, though, he would do that. Like, if you go to Tennessee, why would he – if he wants to be a head coach next year or the year after, why would you go to Tennessee? Like, what's that going to do?
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
If you have a bad year?
Albert Breer, you just kind of put that in there. But then this is the tweet you're talking about. It says, mentioning Albert Breer with an update on Mike McDaniel taking an OC job. He said, I've heard Tampa Bay could be a good spot for him. Also mentions he could potentially be Todd Bowles' successor for the Buccaneers, which to me, like, I think the more I'm starting to notice a trend here with Mike McDaniel, look at where he's worked as of late. Miami, San Francisco, warm weather. Yep. Yeah. I mean, warm weather's been a thing with him. So I think he might just be a guy who generally likes warm weather. Like,
yeah, and I'm going to be shocked if he takes a job because of that.
So when you think of it like that, probably doesn't make me more confident that Mike McDaniel is going to come to Detroit. The fact that Detroit's even in the conversation means how good of a job it actually is, because I don't think he enjoys the weather, but he's like, dang, this would be a really good job if I come here and coach these guys. But okay, let's just take the Lions cap off. Not a bad idea to go to Tampa.
I think Tampa.
If you have a chance of getting that job, like that's if you can take over Todd Bowles like that.
Again, I don't know if they're going to like. The problem is though, and this
Todd Bowles is a year from getting fired. I mean, we all.
It is, but like they're not going to sit there and Todd Bowles is obviously one of the ones hiring you. Like Todd Bowles is going to sit there and be like, "Hey, Mike, we would love you to be here, and I might get fired in a year. This could be your job."
He doesn't think that, but
Yeah, but like the higher ups aren't the ones hiring the OC. That's Todd Bowles. Like when they're in those meetings, like the ownership's not going behind Todd Bowles' back, being like in Mike's mind, Mike's probably thinking, I could have this job. But this is where Albert Breer is like, I don't know if I believe it as much, Jeff. If Mike McDaniels wants a head coaching job, they're gonna have to be successful, correct? If they're successful, Todd Bowles doesn't get fired. So it's like, how does that doesn't really line
the thing
up.
It could happen to like the Joe Brady thing. Joe Brady was great. The offense was great. And Sean McDermott still got fired. Like if they underachieve.
Yeah, you know what? Fair point. Hey.
But to your point, well, if you're Todd Bowles, you're thinking, I'm going to bring Mike McDaniel here. He's going to help me win a lot of games. But like, let's say they have a disappointing ending or they lose a playoff game some way. Like, I think they're going to look for an excuse to fire Todd Bowles. Like, I
thought they were going to fire Todd Bowles this year. Like I legit thought that.
He's on a tight leash.
Yeah.
So,
I thought he was
Todd
out
Bowles,
this year.
You have to hire Mike McDaniel because he's the best option you have. Like he doesn't have a choice. What are you going to do? Take a chance on another guy? Like you at least have to hire the best candidate. But yeah, and someone just put in here, Michael Daly says if he has a young child and a wife, he's not moving him. I don't know if he has. I don't know if he has.
He does have. He has a young daughter, I think.
See, like some of that, you have to think of the human side of it. Like he's in Florida, he's been in Miami for years. They're already there. It's easier to be like, we're going to go to Tampa. You know,
yeah, we're gonna go 2 hours away. We'll get like an apartment over there or a condo. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, instead of being like, yo, I'm gonna go to Michigan and BOC for a year
and potentially only 1 year, and then we got to move again.
Yeah,
it is probably easier, honestly. I think his daughters or whoever, daughter, son, whatever it is. I think he's the kid is younger. I feel like as the kid's younger, it's easier to move because you don't have to constantly like move schools and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker, I think, lives in Arizona. Like he lives there, but he has a house probably or something out here. But he doesn't.
Well, Jared lives in Cali in the offseason.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys have different houses. So, but I think like when you have younger kids, it's probably easier because you don't have to be like if you're a coach and you're moving every year and you're a coordinator, your kid's moving schools. Like at that point, just homeschool your kid, but your kid's moving schools every single year. Like that's got to be tough, no?
Yeah, and he's probably like, I'd rather stay close to my family. And by the way, like we got to be a little objective. That Bucs job isn't a bad job. Like I think the Lions,
it's a great job.
It's dude. Like you see Liam Cohen get a head coaching gig. Dave Canales got a head coaching gig. Like it's not like he takes the Bucs job and I'm like, oh my god, he just made the biggest mistake of his life. Like he's going to get a job if they're off.
They have a good offensive line. They have good weapons. They have a good quarterback. They have a lot of things going for them on that offense.
It's really not.
Who was their OC this year?
They had a guy named what was his name? I just looked this up the other day. He was from the Rams, or he was like a part of that Rams tree, and they fired him. Let me see. He was what was his name? I'll tell you right now. 2025. What was it? Oh, Josh Grizzard. Josh Grizzard. He replaced Liam Cohen. He was the passing game coordinator with Liam Cohen.
Okay.
So again, they promoted from within a guy who was next to Liam. It was kind of like the John Morton-ish kind of move where it was like, hey, this guy was a part of this offense, kind of, when it was.
Wow.
And it just didn't work out. He got fired. So.
By the way, too, I do have to. I'll just do this now. Our guy got a boy wine. Just keeps Booner address the Josh Allen thing. There's nothing to address. He sucked. And got a boy wine's like he's a terrible quarterback. Like that's not true. He had a bad game. Like it was. And Jeff, me and you talked about this yesterday. It was all Josh Allen's fault. They lost. I think Josh knows that. He needs to take care of the ball. That doesn't just because he had a bad game and got bounced doesn't mean the man.
Yeah, I mean, people
is like bad. He's still a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. He's an MVP.
I mean, Boone, do you know Josh Allen's touchdown to interception ratio is in his career in the playoffs? Like, do we really want to go down that road? Like, the guy's played 15 games in the playoffs, which is a lot. 29 TDs, 6 picks.
Oh, yeah.
And he has another 9 on the ground. So basically, we're talking 38 TDs to 6 picks.
And essentially, like, and someone just put in there, Josh has 0 receiving core. Dude, he had to go through this playoffs essentially on his. He had James Cook. essentially on his own. Like, dude, Keon Coleman dropped a wide open touchdown in the end zone. Like, in his hands, just dropped it. Just point blank. And Josh Allen, and it wasn't even just a play where Josh Allen was in the pocket. Boom. Josh Allen, like, ran around for, like, 10 seconds, like, trying to keep the play alive.
Well, I think Josh Allen was
Keon, boom, drops.
Superman. I think he was Superman, and that comes with massive risk because you're going
to have a game where you have those many turnovers. And the fact that they went to OT and still had an opportunity with 5 turnovers is like, okay.
I think the stat they showed was teams that have like 3 more turnovers than the opponent in the playoffs were 1 in 85. Like they would have been the second of 86 games. Like
that's why it's shocking. That's why it's shocking Brandon Beans got promoted because like you have one of the best quarterbacks. And I've heard a lot of people actually say this the last couple of days, the last like 48 hours. Like Josh Allen could be like one of the best players of all time to never win a Super Bowl if he doesn't win one. And it's like it's not really like you could say it's his fault, but he just doesn't have anything around him. Like he has nothing around him.
Well, it's like
we had this kind of dude. We've had this with Ghetto Boy Juan, dude.
Dude, Josh Allen just won MVP with a wide receiver worse than Hollywood Brown, like in his prime when he was playing. Like,
dude, Zay Flowers is better than any wide receiver that I think Josh has had.
Yeah, so they're both great quarterbacks. It's like you're arguing the wrong thing here.
It's
the Nine-Tail Fox. This comment, I'm sorry. Listen, if you're talking about replacing Goff,
dude, he's a Patriots fan. Don't get caught up in that.
Yeah, because now because this is as a stopgap. I would replace Goff with Fields or someone that is mobile. This might be, and I mean this respectfully, one of the worst suggestions I've ever heard. Justin Fields is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. So if you want to talk about replacing Goff, at least have a better suggestion than Justin Fields.
I love this. Guys, this is a good show, but talk about the elephant in the room. Goff is the problem. Goff is the least of the problems. I've thought about that a lot. He is the least of all problems in Detroit.
Again, people
the least
mobile quarterback shit. Like, okay, fine. It's awesome to have a guy who can move around. It's great. No, me and Booner have been saying this for a while. It's awesome. But as a passer, you got to find me someone that's gonna at least put up better numbers, if not the similar numbers. As Goff can put up numbers. He's not mobile, but the guy he just had 30-something TDs. He's putting up 30 plus TDs a year. Yeah. His interceptions are relatively low. A ton of passing yards, ton of production. He's keeping this offense a top 5 unit. Like, if you want to bring me someone more mobile, like Josh Allen, if he's just magically available, fine, I'll listen. Or if you want to draft his replacement and develop him, whatever, we can have that conversation. But as of right now, there's no better option than just being like, well, bring me Justin Fields because he can run. Guys, come on. Like, your offense will be bottom 5 with Justin Fields. Like, come on, man. You need someone that can beat you in the pocket.
The only other argument, like, it would be like, okay, like if you were to replace Goff or move on is, and I saw him put it in there, and I've seen people say is like you trade for Josh Allen, which won't happen. I
would give up every first round pick until I'm dead.
100%. Yeah, I think we all would. but it's like that's like just not going to happen. Like imagine Josh Allen with Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Isaac Tesla, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta. You would win 3 straight Super Bowls. It wouldn't matter what your defense is like.
Yes, I mean you can't do it. There's no. The people, this is the problem I have with the Jared Goff stuff. If you guys want Jared Goff replaced, you got to bring me the solution, man. Like, you got to tell me, and Justin Fields is not good enough. You can't. You got to do better.
It has to be realistic, too.
You got to give me a realistic scenario because it's easy to be like, just get rid of Goff. He's the problem. Okay, how? Like, if you're Brad Holmes, and we co-at Brad, we criticize Brad. If you're Brad Holmes and you just dump Goff and just get like you fire him. That's one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen from a general manager. Yep. To have a top 10 quarterback who, again, we all want a more mobile guy. Okay, we all want someone that's higher than that. I get that. But to just dump him and be like, give me Malik Willis, that's a fireable offense. And this is why, with all due respect, we are not all GMs. Because you would be fired the first day in the office. Okay, with that move. You'd be done. So we need a better option or a better solution than just, I want Goff gone. We got to bring more. We got to bring scenarios to the table here. Okay.
Hey, but sorry, this is so like, this is just off topic, but we were talking about our head coaching, me and you. We put our GM caps on a week ago. We said this is who we would hire. Matt Nagy is -200 to get the Titans job, and that was who we hired. Yep.
Dude, you know what's weird with Matt Nagy, by the way? I know Lions fans remember him from Chicago, but no one really wants to talk about the Chiefs. Just kind of like let him go. Like they didn't fire him, but they like his contract expired, and they just kind of like they were just like, see ya.
I think that was one of those things where I think Matt Nagy knew that
he was getting, but I've only seen him in the Titans job. Like, oh, you know what? Now it makes sense. GM of the Titans was with the Chiefs.
Did you see it? And I just saw it too. I need a haircut so bad.
Now it makes sense.
Did you see I just saw this as well. A new favorite for the Browns job. Jim Schwartz was originally, now he's plus 200. Do you know this name? Grant Udinsky.
Stud. Another stud.
He's minus 150 to get the Browns head
that
coaching
guy's
job.
Stud.
Out of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You know what's a funny theory people bring up? So Grant's the OC with Jacksonville. They're doing an amazing job. He was working under Kevin O'Connell, working with the offense, designing like he was like Kevin O'Connell's right-hand man. Sam Darnold has a career year. He gets hired to join Liam Cohen. Trevor Lawrence has a career year. And now look at the offense in Minnesota, all due respect. But like Kevin O'Connell's a bright guy, but they fall. That guy might be another like hidden genius. I don't know if Cleveland's a good job for him, but great hire by Cleveland. Like for him, no, but for Cleveland, yes, that's a great hire.
Raiders. So we had who do you remember who we had?
We had Clint Kubiak.
Updated odds. Leader for the Raiders job. Clint Kubiak.
By the way, Clint Kubiak was cutting up the 49ers, dude. He was cut like that offense with Sam. I know they weren't he didn't throw for a bunch of yards, but they were running the ball really well. Yep. They were cooking. They were doing some trickery. Special teams is great. Yeah, Clint's gonna be a good coach.
Next one, I just gave it away. Ravens. Jesse Minter's favorite.
Well, how much is he having?
Minus 110.
Yeah, he should get the job there.
Steelers. We had Brian Flores. Brian Flores is plus 250. We should know that Chris Shula is minus 200. And then the odds for the Bills just dropped as well.
Who's that?
Who would you say is the number one, the favorite?
I'm just going to go with Joe Brady.
We did talk about this one, and this actually makes sense. This should be the favorite, actually. I'll give you a hint. Think offensive mind. You want to put an elite offensive mind in that building.
Mike McDaniel.
He's the favorite. Plus 300, but he's the favorite as of right now. If I'm Mike McDaniel, I'll do everything to get that job. Mike McDaniel with Josh Allen.
I totally forgot about that.
Think about what he did with Tua. And the only issue with Tua, they almost won that division with Tua and weapons. Think about what he would do with Josh Allen if he had Josh Allen.
Good luck. You got to get snowy, though. Buffalo loves the snow. Too bad on the weather. But that's a top job, though. Like, too bad, man. Like, who cares?
They're getting a new stadium this year. Like, is that
going to be open, that stadium? Or is
it opens up this next year. They just had their final home game like a couple weeks ago.
Will it be a dome?
The old one.
Or no?
No, they made it so they didn't make a dome because they actually like some teams like the Bills, they look at it as an advantage. Like they're like, come play us in the snow, please. But they made it to where the only issue with the last stadium was with the snow. One, the snow obviously got on the seats and it was hard to remove. But two, the wind. Like the wind was so bad because of where they're located to where they couldn't throw the ball, they couldn't kick. Like the wind was bad. They created the new stadium. They designed it to block out the wind, so there's no wind. So they built it where it was like up and over. And then it also, I believe, from what I saw, it helps with the snow too. So not as much snow. Snow will get in, but not as much because of the way it's all like they designed it. But it's an open stadium.
Damn.
So they like really took it into consideration, all of that wind and snow.
Okay, so I think we need to start having the other conversation. Like I feel as the days go by and these jobs in the Albert Breer report, like, dude, Mike McDaniel, dude, like we're holding on.
Yeah.
I think like a week ago, I was at like a 45% chance, 50% chance. Like we were in the dance. Like now I'm at like a 35.
There's just so many good jobs that are open right now.
30,
it's a bad
35.
offseason to need an OC.
Not feeling good.
Yeah.
Not feeling good. Now they're going to have to, I mean, I don't want to call it settling, but it kind of is when you look at like who the number one guy was, like Jake Peets working with Seattle right now, pass game coordinator. But
Nate Scheelhaus though. Like he's not Nate Shieldhouse. I don't think he's going to get a head coaching a job. He's got the interviews. I don't think he'll get a job. He's a pass game coordinator. Why not bring him in to be your OC and give him an opportunity? And I know it's like, and a lot of people pushed back because I said I want an experienced guy, and they're like, Booner, last year you guys even said that as well, and that was your pushback from John Morton. But it's like I just think there's a little difference on the guy that you do get. Like, what's the experience? Like, if he doesn't have play calling experience, what's his experience before? Like, what is he doing before? And you see him like last night working hand in hand with that Rams offense. And obviously they weren't great, but like he's a big part of what they do in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'll say this, like people bring up like, why do you love Shieldhouse if he's inexperienced? Dude, he's look at his resume and like he has called plays before in college, but he's been an OC. He's called plays on a slightly lower level, but that still is better than a guy who's never called plays. He at least has experience. And by the way, calling plays at Iowa State got him the Rams job. So clearly Sean McVay liked him enough calling plays to bring him to LA. And on top of that, he's coached every position on offense. Like, how do you not love that? He's coached quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs in college, but still working with those guys in the NFL. And on top of that, he's also been not only the passing game coordinator for the Rams, he's also been a run game coordinator at Iowa State. So he has experience in the passing game, the running game, coaching different positions. He's a former quarterback, sees the field, sees the offense a certain way. Working with Sean McVay, the offense was great. Matthew Stafford's going to win MVP. Like, that guy has a great resume. And that's why behind an experienced guy, Mike McDaniel, the next closest is a guy with that experience. We're not saying a guy who's never had any experience as number two. Like, I can see why people would do. Nate Shieldhouse, he's better when you compare the two, you know. Like, yeah, I think Jake Peets was an OC for LSU, but it just wasn't. I don't think it was a.
I don't think it was a great.
Yeah,
he was with.
Technically, he does have
Go
that.
Tigers. What's his name?
Ed Ogeron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach O.
You know, and like Mega Hustle sounds like another John Morton project. Give me Jake Peets. Jake Peets. This is the ironic part of this. Jake Peets is actually more similar to a John Morton, not because of age, but because he's worked with offenses for like 10 years, 15 years. He's only been an OC like once. Like, why hasn't, and I'm just
very close, actually. No, you're dead. You're spot on.
I'm just bringing up, why hasn't Jake Peets been an OC in the NFL yet? Like, why?
Nate Shieldhouse at least is young, and he hasn't gotten his
only
first
been in the league for 2 years, coach.
Yeah, like he's like one of those guys. He's kind of like these different guys, like a Liam Cohen, who Liam Cohen was kind of college back and forth, was with the Rams a little bit, but then when he finally, you know, he worked with Sean McVay, and he was in college with Kentucky with my guy Will Levis, but he was back and forth, and when he finally got his opportunity. Oh, his offensive mind is at a different level. It's the same thing with Nate Shieldhouse, where Nate Shieldhouse has only been there a couple of years, but he's learning and he's young, and he's someone who hasn't had an opportunity yet. Where Jake Peets has, like he's been in the league for a while, and no one's ever been like, oh yeah, he's gonna be great. That's the thing where it's like Nate Shieldhouse. That's going to be one to where, as Lions fans, if you're going to be sitting here being like, I don't want him, I can promise you, and I can say this confidently, in 4 or 5 years, you're going to look back and be like, well, that was a dumb statement. Like, he's one of the best coaches in the NFL now, or best offensive minds in the NFL now. And you're going to look back and just be like, yep, that was on me. That's the Nate Shieldhouse. If you don't want him and you say, let's pass on him and go get Jake Peets, that Nate Shieldhouse is like the next Kevin O'Connell, the next Liam Cohen, the next Matt LaFleur. Like, that's who Nate Shieldhouse is. That's who you're being like, we'll pass on.
Yeah, John Morton, dude, was coaching for 30. He's been coaching for so long, and he's only been an OC twice now, and been fired for both. Like, that's like not the same as a guy who's, you know, has a bunch of experience in college, limited experience in the NFL, and he's getting fast track quickly. Like, yeah. It's just it's very different. So like even Jesse says would rather have Zach Robinson over Shieldhouse. In my opinion, Lions can't risk another guy. Like, again, if you want to say that, I'm not going to argue too much. Like, if you want a guy who's been an OC before in the NFL, fine. You know, teach his own. I don't think that's a dumb take. Zach Robinson, like, I don't think he's a bad play caller by any means. I know people are more skeptical. I don't have him as high on my list as other guys. But he's at least called plays recently. Like, you can go watch film You can actually go like Jake Peets. You can watch like the Seattle Seahawks passing attack, but at least Zach Robinson has called plays, so I give you that. I'm not gonna hate that. Jay Steve says, I haven't heard anything about Cliff Kingsbury either. Is he looking for a head coaching job?
That's a good point. Yeah,
haven't heard a thing. Which I think he goes to Philly. To be honest, I think he ends up in Philly. That's going to be a Philly hire for sure. He's quiet, hanging out. Eagles call him. He's like, "Fuck it. Let me get revenge against Dan Quinn and cook this dude twice a year." I'm cool with that, and I get to work with a mobile quarterback who he's worked with basically for his entire career. Jay Steve says, did Mike Kafka take a job? No. I haven't even heard Mike Kafka interviewing for a bunch of jobs.
Yeah, that's the weird thing with Mike Kafka. Isn't that not weird? I feel like he's someone that
I haven't seen. And you know what's concerning to me? The Chiefs just put in a request to interview Eric Bieniemy.
Well, okay, hold on.
Why isn't Mike Kafka getting that?
Was that for the OC job?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw Jordan.
You know how
Schultz.
it is. They're not actually calling plays over there.
Yeah. Well, Jordan Schultz, I saw him tweet it out, but then he didn't say what job. He was like, they've requested Eric Bieniemy. Like for what? Everyone in the
I
comments.
saw OC on a notification I got.
Oh, it might have been. He just might have forgot to put it in there. But I just saw the tweet.
Adam Schefter, Chiefs requesting permission to interview Eric Bieniemy for the OC job.
Yeah, Jordan Schultz has never put OC in there. He just said the Chiefs requested Eric Bieniemy. And it was like, what? Everyone was like, well, for what, dude?
They
like,
requested Eric Bieniemy.
It was a little confusing. I mean, that's kind of just going back in time for Eric Bieniemy. I mean, that's just someone that was their OC when they were winning.
By the way, Ben Johnson commented on that 2-point conversion. He said, yeah, I thought about it. Probably, he said, probably what played a factor was, our goal to go situations haven't gone clean. Our inside the 5 plan had worked out. So what you were saying, yeah. Yeah.
That day, they just weren't that great. Short yardage stuff, especially at the goal line.
Well, I think a lot of fans are talking about just kicking the field goals. That's what people are. But like, you still had a chance to win despite all of that. So it's hard to really just say like kick field goals you win when your quarterback throws a pick.
It's funny that Ben's dealing with what Dan's dealt with now forever.
Oh, the same thing, dude.
Yeah, because he adapted that whole philosophy, and I think it's kind of cool actually to see that. I think it's interesting.
Appreciate nobody for the $2. Says night stream tonight or taking it off, fellas. No stream tonight. I'm
watching national championship game and
you guys gotta understand. From me and Booner's perspective, we don't really get to watch. I don't think me and Booner have really watched. And this isn't complaining. We love our job. We love doing it. But just being honest, to actually sit there and just watch a game and just kind of watch the game, we cover a lot of big games. So I think tonight, watching the national championship, chilling out.
Probably put like a little sprinkle of a parlay on and just sit there and enjoy the game.
So no stream tonight, but we'll be back.
We'll be streaming next week, Sunday's NFC Championship game.
Rams, Seahawks, and then we got Super Bowl. So, I
mean, we could do the AFC too if we wanted to. Both would probably do numbers.
Yeah, they're big games. Yeah, the AFC is not as probably fun to do because they don't have Bo Nix, but it's still the AFC Championship game. The NFC Championship game is going to be electric. You got 1-1 in the regular season, decided by that. Like, we'll see where we're at. Maybe we'll get to go. We'll see. We'll be at Dog and Pony. We'll see where we're at. That'll be good. Desi says doesn't help when Loveland was hurt too in the red zone. Yep. Yeah,
dude. Remember that was actually he didn't come back in OT. I don't think. We just kept seeing Cole Kmet. There was no Loveland. I don't know what happened, what the injury was, but he got up in that one play that he caught the ball and then ran off, and he never came back.
That's big. That was a big one too. That's like a safety blanket. I know Cole Kmet was out there, but that's a whole other thing, man. Do you want to look at Doc's 7th round mock? It won't let me
do that. We'll do.
You might have to do it because it's not like every time I open it says my screen is. I can't load the
let me see if I can
page.
Pull it up.
Doc came with a 7th round mock. All right, Doc, you're on the stage.
I think it was Vito that did it.
Oh, Vito. Okay. Yeah. Shout out Vito. He's a different. We're not going to cook Vito as much as we would Doc. But
it's technically it's like mock draft Monday, but we're not doing ours until
3 weeks. 3 weeks. Right. Holy shit! I love this already.
All right. There we go. First round. Shout out Vito. Round 1. 17th overall pick. Francis
Magoa.
Tackle out of Florida or out of Miami.
No, this
Florida.
dude's good. I can't pronounce his name, but
I've seen a couple little film breakdowns of Francis.
This dude's a freak. I mean, this dude's an absolute freak. I think he's a massive human being too.
Yeah, it says here he just allowed 14 pressures in 2025. With
he's
high-end
Samoan.
efficiency metrics.
It'd be like the Samoan towers, dude.
Yep, and he's a right tackle. And this turns Jeff into the situation that I brought up a couple weeks ago, like when the Lions season ended, just drafting any sort of tackle, even if it's just a sole right tackle, and moving Panay left, because Panay is a left tackle. Like he in college he was a left tackle. So you move Panay over and you put him at right, you're for the next 6 years, you have your two dogs.
I mean, you got to think this guy had 440 pass blocking snaps and only gave up 3 hits.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking nuts. I mean, he is a dominant pass blocking tackle. Like that dude. And if you draft, like, this is what I'm talking about when we talk about like what they should do in the first round. I know edge sneaks into there. If you draft a dude like this, like your offensive line improves dramatically. Like, I mean, this dude, and he's supposed to he's projected higher too, I believe. I think he's projected higher. But if he were to fall or something like that, this would be massive.
Yeah, it would be a steal at 17. It would be an absolute steal. I still like too, and you'd probably see it a lot. And when we do mock draft Monday, one thing that I like, obviously you can't get him probably later in the first round, but if like say he's not available, and you know you have one of those Utah tackles or someone in the back end of the trade back, man, get back to 28 to 32, get an extra second round pick or a third round pick that you're missing right now. And I love the tackle strategy in the first round.
You're going to get to watch him too tonight. I mean, you're going to get to see he's playing against a very good defense. Like, I'm
pretty sure both Miami tackles are really good as well. So if you want to go, and I think one of them is like, and I don't know if it's him, but like massive. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm excited to see.
You could, you know what the Lions should do? Draft your offensive line replacements in Florida. You have Francis and you have Jake Slaughter with Florida.
Yeah.
Draft those two guys, center tackle, boom, you're straight. Get out of there. Steal him from Florida, and you're good.
Round 2, number 50th overall, Connor Lew out of interior offensive lineman out of Auburn. It says Lew brings intelligence, toughness, and positional versatility, 3 traits the Lions covet. A multi-year SEC starter, equipped with necessary football IQ, processing ability to eventually handle center responsibilities at the NFL level. Okay.
So Connor Lew plays center? Or he can play center? Is that what?
A center with the second pick. Do you trust it? This is a question I've actually had because we've had this conversation about replacing Graham. Like, do you trust like a second round or just like do you trust a rookie center right away? Like, how does that? No. Because I've always been on the part of like, let's just go free agency and get a center and draft a tackle and get a veteran center in free agency. And if you want to draft like maybe in rounds 4 or 5, a long-term center. I know there's some, you can find guys like that and just let them sit. That's
it's tough.
Where I'm at.
It's really tough because you got to think about the conversation Goff had with John Morton. I bet they had where Tate was learning center. Jared was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I want a veteran center. So why all of a sudden would Goff change? Like whoever they draft at center, that he's going to have to probably sit a year. This is why the whole Frank Ragnow the conversation gets frustrating because they should have had a guy sitting already. But I don't think of a rookie center. I think it's going to be a free agent center they bring in, maybe for a cheaper deal, a veteran who's played football games and better than Graham, obviously played a lot of football games.
Yeah, I saw a mock draft. Alliance fans did a thread on Twitter. I wish I could remember the account's name, but I saw in the 5th round he drafted the center out of Iowa, who was like a multi-year starter, an absolute stud. Got him in the 5th round, and it's like just let him sit a year with a vet, and then hopefully, and those Iowa guys, man.
Tyler Linderbaum was from Iowa.
Yeah, they eventually turn into an absolute dog, dude. And it's just like, just go get one of those guys
Who is it? Who is that guy?
Is it Logan Jones? Is someone in the chat? Someone put Logan Jones.
Logan Jones. Yeah.
Out of Iowa. Is that who it is?
Yeah. Logan Jones.
And he looked, dude, I saw a picture of him. I need to go watch some film of him just to see. But he got him in the 5th round. And it's like, yeah, why wouldn't you just go like 5th
He had the
round?
number 1 pass blocking grade among centers.
Yeah, why not get a guy like that in the 4th, 5th round? And hey, we're bringing a vet center in to learn.
Oh,
You're going to be an absolute dog one day in the NFL. We all know that. Just sit for a year, learn from whoever our vet guy is, and if you're ready to go next year, you're good to go.
Oh, this guy's he looks like Jack Campbell's cousin.
Why not bring him in? Why not go draft Logan Jones? We should get Logan Jones on the show.
He looks like a Jack Campbell mix of like he looks like if Jack Campbell and Sam Laporta had a baby. Like this guy, look at this guy, bro. This dude is a lion, bro. Look at this guy. Wait, hold on. Let me bring this up. This guy is a freaking lion, dude. Look at this guy, dude.
Oh, dude, we need him.
He is. That's yeah.
I think someone just said he won the same award as Linderbaum did. Probably best center in the country.
See, Iowa, man, they talk about those tight ends, but dude, those offensive linemen coming out of Iowa, dude, I think Tristan Wirfs came from Iowa. I think
that sounds right. Maybe I don't know why Tristan Wirfs gives me Iowa State vibes.
He is from Iowa.
He gives me Iowa State vibes though.
Why?
I don't know.
He played college football at Iowa.
Who are all the tight ends that they have?
At Iowa?
Yeah.
Like
who was the quarterback at Iowa State a couple years ago?
Well, Brock Purdy played at Iowa State.
Brock Purdy, that's what it was. I feel like I've seen Tristan Wirfs and Brock Purdy before.
Well, I don't know. He played at Iowa, so maybe I don't know. I don't know how that would. I don't know. But tight ends are stacked there.
Tristan Wirfs went to Iowa.
It says right here, Iowa for.
Wow. Did not know that. All right, next pick. Ready? Oh, kind bars.
By the way, we just found something out today. Logan Jones, bring him home.
Yes, okay, Logan Jones. I saw it on Twitter yesterday, Jeff. I was scrolling. I saw a thread. I wish I could give credit who it was. And I saw the thread, and I was like, just going through it, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty good mock draft. And I saw round 5, Logan Jones. And
January 19th, we just found the guy.
The picture I saw of him, he was like flexing, and I was like, that looks like a Lions future. And then whoever the person did the thread was, I'll find it for you later, Jeff, and send it. He was like future All-Pro center, Logan Jones. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I think I'm going to put him in. He literally, bro, he might be in every single one of my mock drafts. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think that's the guy we just found on January 19th. I think he's a guy. He's a guy for sure.
I wonder if I could.
Combine.
Oh, dude, I wish I could see this mock draft right now. And oh, here it is. And shout out to the person it was. The person, it's a Lions Twitter, Peyton.
Oh, Peyton. Shout out to Peyton. He's been cooking on those like draft breakdowns.
Oh, you've seen Peyton? You know Peyton?
Yeah,
familiar?
I see. He posts a lot of guys he likes. Yeah,
I should follow Peyton. I'll follow Peyton. I just follow Peyton.
He's a that guy's a stud, man.
So his and I don't want to. Vito's done a good job. I'm just going to throw out Peyton actually first round. Guess who he took? Francis out of Miami, tackle.
There you go.
Second round, Akeem Mesidor, who I took when I did a mock draft behind the scenes without posting it yet because we keep it secret. Peyton followed me back just now. Peyton might be in our chat because he just followed me back. Second round, he did edge Mesidor out of Miami, absolute dog, and then he did Jalen Kilgore, DB out of South Carolina, and then 5th pick, Logan Jones, and he said the future center is taken here with a chance to become a long-time NFL starter. This picture, Jeff.
Oh my gosh.
I want that guy on my football team.
Yeah, that guy's a dude.
And then he took safety Bud Clark out of TCU. I've heard of Bud Clark. And then he took Caden Curry. Caden Curry, edge out of Ohio State. This one, I love this one. Are you ready for this? 7th round, Jam Miller out of Alabama.
Is he a running back?
Yep.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, Jam Miller, running back.
That's what happened. I followed Peyton out on Crunch Time. I want to follow Peyton, not Crunch Time. All right, there we go. I follow about Crunch Time. Shout out Peyton. Got a Crunch Time follow. We don't follow a lot of people. Follow Peyton.
Yeah. Shout out Peyton. Let me follow me back to the minute later. I think he gets he's quick on the noties, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna start following his stuff. Yeah. Okay. So Vito,
Jacob
shout out. Let's get back. Vito, Jacob Rodriguez. I think it's a great thing. And by the way, I don't know if Hanch is watching, who follows the show, who I work with. He said Jacob. Oh no, someone at my work told me Jacob Rodriguez is related to Malcolm Rodriguez and is his brother.
He's not. That's not.
And I tried to look it up. I could not find anything that noted that they were brothers.
Yeah, that was, dude. Like Jacob Rodriguez went to like where did he play before? Like Virginia or something. And then he's not even related.
This would be a great Alex Anzalone replacement, though. Elite. He's not going to be good right away because look how long it took Jack. It took him about a year or so to get into that, but I think he'd be good future-wise.
People were saying, I think the only criticism that Jacob Rodriguez has is they say he's a smaller guy. Like he could be more of like a safety. I don't know. People are saying he's not as, he's probably built to be. Oh, so he's a smaller linebacker, I guess, in the NFL. But he is productive. You can't lie. You can't go after the production. The guy put up a bunch of numbers. I mean, at Texas Tech, like he was a bunch of picks, bunch of forced fumbles, bunch of tackles. Like guy creates turnovers, so that'll get him a role somewhere. So 4th round though, like I like this pick. You're taking a guy who's basically had Heisman votes, bro. I mean.
Sorry, I'm trying to go like some Peyton tweets real quick. I want to go. I'm going to look for the Logan one. Show love to Peyton. All right, shout out Peyton. All right, next one, round 5. 155 overall, Mikhail Kamara, edge out of Indiana.
I don't know. I don't know much about him, to be honest.
Measures at 6'1", 262, brings to the table a solid degree of pass rush with experience against Big Ten comp. While his sack numbers dipped in 2025, his improved pass rush win rate indicates continued growth. Pass rush win rate, Jeff.
Yeah, because he had 10 sacks in 2024, had 2 this year, but he had 10 the year prior. So he's
next one here, round 5, 181, potential comp pick for loss of Kevin Zeitler. Oh, I didn't know we get that.
Jalen Kilgore. That's the guy you just mentioned, Jalen Kilgore.
That,
Peyton had.
Yep, with the Meek entering free agency, Detroit could use depth in the secondary. Brings ball production, toughness, positional versatility, qualities that should stick out. 3 seasons with the Gamecocks, he totaled 8 interceptions in 3 years, including an SEC leading 5 in 2024.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah,
proven run defender, earning an 82.2 PFF run defensive grade this last season, which is good. That seems pretty.
That's good. Yeah, he plays the run. That's awesome.
Round 6. Pat Coogan, interior offensive lineman out of Indiana. So Vito's gone 2 interior defense or offensive linemen.
Yeah, he's
played center at a high level for Notre Dame and Indiana. I think he transferred from Notre Dame this last year into Indiana.
That's okay. So he was at Notre Dame. Yeah, he's playing center, but I'm sure he's probably one of these guys is interchangeable. They could probably play some guard too.
Yep, and I mean, if you take 2 of them, one's got to hit, right?
Yeah, you think.
Round 6.
Brad took 2 corners. I mean,
are you familiar with Skylar Bell, by the way, out of UConn?
No, I don't know Skylar Bell.
Consensus?
Is that the guy who was on the sideline with his chain on? I think. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I do. I have heard of him.
Yeah, FBS though. So he plays for UConn. 101. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was want to mention I do know him because I heard who talked about him. I watched some guy analyst talk about Skylar Bell because UConn played in a bowl game, and Skylar Bell was on the sideline not playing in the bowl game, and he was just watching or whatever. So they were kind of talking shit about him, but he's like their best receiver, I guess. I do remember that. I don't know anything about him other than that. I don't know. I'm
gonna watch a little bit on him. Skylar Bell, though, it said he had 101 receptions, and second in receiving yards in the FBS, 1,200 yards, over 1,200 yards.
Yeah, for that production to be this slow of a draft pick, I mean,
and then round 7, another secondary player, Josh Moten out of Southern Miss. I think I've heard of him before. Sounds very familiar. 5 interceptions in 2024, and his length and zone instincts make him an intriguing late-round prospect. And that's it. Shout out Vito.
Yeah, he's got production for sure. He had 5 picks this year, 5 picks last year at Marshall.
Oh, I just clicked the wrong one.
So he was guy was producing. Yeah, honestly, good mock draft by Vito there.
Yeah, I can't wait. We keep talking about like, we're gonna get into mock draft Monday. We're trying to push it off until after the Super Bowl. When is the Super Bowl, by the way? What date is it? Do you know?
Early February. It's like February.
It's the first week of February, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a beautiful golden retriever outside this window over here. I don't know. I hope that it has an owner out there. I don't see a person. I just see the dog running around. Beautiful golden retriever.
That's kind of sad if it's not. There's no one by the dog.
So is it February 2nd is the Super Bowl, or is it February 9th?
It's it is February 8th. February 8th, 6:30.
Oh, the 8th. Sorry, yeah. I don't know why I did it Monday. Yeah,
February 8th.
Okay.
So that's the day after that we'll start.
February 9th, first mock draft Monday.
Yep. Because then we have
3 weeks.
February, we have mock draft Monday, a couple weeks, and then mock draft, and then we have it for a while, and then the draft. So
and we will be, and it's confirmed, we will be at the NFL Combine. We added an extra day. Some of us, depending on what interviews, we might go down an extra day early before the day we already have if we get interviews, but we're in a pretty good spot. We've already got everything booked. I think starting Tuesday or the Wednesday of that week. The thing we have to figure out, Jeff, and I was thinking about it just literally like a day ago, is Brett. Like, I emailed with the NFL. There's a chance that we could get credentialed. If we get credentialed or we get some ways to get into the media, I think Brad speaks Tuesday. So, like, we got to go. I feel like.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. If we
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Dan and Brad, and they're like Monday, Tuesday. So we might end up, depending on if we get a way to get in to speak or just listen, we probably could do a full week. As of right now, I think we're there Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way till Sunday. So last year, I think we were there either Thursday or Friday. We've added 2 days. I feel like the coverage we get there and things we do is very good and beneficial to people. So
it'll be fun. We'll be there. Appreciate you guys. We went early today. We'll be live tomorrow, normal time, rest of the week. So until then, appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your Monday. Enjoy the Nationals.
love you guys.
Much love. Peace.
Indiana tonight. Hammer it.